Yeah, we're totally gonna miss the room that I'm in right now. It's totally gonna be something that happens. Everyone's gonna be so devastated to not
I'm
see
sure
this
you probably
dumbass
won't.
background of a fucking closet door that doesn't even have a door handle, and a stupid ass lamp that I don't even want to take with me to the new place.
I'm sure you don't. You're not gonna miss the room.
Fuck no. I ain't gonna miss anything. New hair, who dis?
I can't believe they brought that Rocks. That's crazy. She used to be my favorite skin.
Hi, baby. How are you?
Alex would like to join your party.
There she is.
Oh,
Fucking Alex.
Hi, Alex.
Brittany went back in time.
Huh?
Your skin. Sorry, I
Oh,
thought you were already full. I don't know. Is Feck getting on?
Yeah, he's on.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, because Moon was asking if she could join, but if we did that, we have to do
Well, we're
Rumble.
not doing creative tomorrow.
Oh,
We can do
okay.
creative
You
tonight.
must. Yeah,
We can do
we can do
creative
creative
tonight.
tonight.
Yeah, yeah, Moon, if you want to join, please do.
Hello.
What's up? We're
Hello, how
doing
are you?
creative.
Here, I'll send
Oh,
her.
okay.
Hey, Feck. Or
Hey.
Spider-Man. Fucking 106, bitch. I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
Anybody want
What?
some candy?
Why are you 100 level? Why are you
Candy,
106,
nice.
Feck?
Well, I would have been 96, but I decided to buy the last 10 levels because I wanted
You bought levels.
Son of
Yeah, you
a.
did.
You bought levels.
Britt, why are you gonna say yeah I did like you didn't buy levels last season?
I'm
Yeah,
not. Hey,
literally.
I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm just saying, yeah, he did.
Ooh,
I'm not
Darth
gonna lie.
Vader, let me just drop $80.
I'm
It's
not gonna
straight
lie.
up, man.
This whole season, I
Oop, luggage.
haven't bought anything yet.
Holy shit.
The only thing I've spent money on at all in the last like year of Fortnite has been the monthly membership, and that is it.
Alex, mess with your banner.
Oh, I haven't changed my banner, have I? It's
They
because
have
Come
I have
back.
banners set per loadout. Hey Moon.
Yeah, man, you gotta match the fucking aesthetic of
Well, I
your
don't have
vampire
to.
hunter lady.
they have Evil Dead
Do
skin?
I have a?
Yes. What's his name? I forgot.
Ash.
Ash. Yeah.
Wait, what?
They have a Ash versus Evil Dead skin.
Ash
Oh.
Williams from Evil Dead. Yeah.
When you said Ash, the first thing that popped in my head was Overwatch.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's
I
I
mean,
want that character so bad.
This
I
is my
mean,
Halloween
She's
costume.
fun. She's fun as hell.
Yeah, I was messing around with her the other night in training, and I was like, oh, I need to get her, but I found out you have to play 50 games to unlock her. And I was like, well, damn.
Actually, wait, hold
Or
on.
own
That's,
Overwatch 1.
that's not my
Yeah, or
Halloween costume.
Overwatch.
That's the stormtrooper. I am the stormtrooper, so I'm gonna
9.
dress
I'm
up
just gonna do
as
this because
Darth
I
Vader.
can't find anything for the vampire. Britt, what did you just do? Oh, treat yourself. But you treat yourself. Yeah, I'm about to equip that.
Yeah, man.
Huh?
You said you wanted candy. I literally asked, "Hey, who wants candy?" And you said, "Yeah, sure." So
I didn't know what you meant. I was like, yeah, I'll candy.
So there you go.
I should really.
Gotcha. My desk is like almost completely empty, so BB's just chilling on my desk.
Oh, Alex.
Sorry, what's up?
Got to play Hot Wheels Unleashed. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's
Fucking
one of the free
childhood.
games.
It's just. I get
Did
to
you?
relive my childhood again.
I was about to say, did you play the last ones?
Are we doing creative or Team Rumble?
Last ones.
Creative.
The last ones. What last ones?
Like, I played Hot Wheels Beat That on my PS2.
Oh, that's actually this is my first time playing Hot Wheels.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, my first was Hot Wheels Beat That on PS2.
Oh.
So being able to play this is very nice.
So Vaughn is Venom. Feck is Spider-Gwen.
Unless I might have to just beat you.
We got a Boxy over there. We got Darth Vader, and we got a Vampire Hunter.
You couldn't remember her name, could you?
Can Miles please be added in a game?
Seriously.
I can literally only. I am so sorry. I can literally only remember Moon whenever you join in.
I think Miles is gonna be next season.
Oh, yeah.
No, he's projected to be released this season.
This season?
Yeah.
Oh, just as like a purchasable character?
Oh, item shop.
That's
I
dumb.
don't know. We'll see.
That's dumb.
Yeah, I wish I could say this name.
Spider-Man, Gwen, and Prowler all got Battle Pass segments. Give Miles a Battle Pass.
Yeah, if we end up getting a Chapter 4 Season 1. I don't know. A lot of people are saying that we're going to have a Chapter 4 Season 1. I doubt it, but we'll see.
I mean, we still have a few
you're
seasons
the only
of
one.
Chapter
There we
3,
go.
right?
Jesus Christ.
I'm the only Spider-Man? Yes, I know.
No,
Until
you're
I
the only
found
one
out
who
there's a
didn't
multiverse.
fucking ready up.
Why did I get... What the fuck? Oh, it's a bot account.
What?
You got raided.
So it's
Oh.
It's not rated. It's more of a, I went from 292 to 846 followers.
Yeah.
No, they're bots.
Bot
Yeah.
swatted.
Fuck that shit, dude. It's like
Out
the
of
same
all
as the
that, you
hate
might
raid
have like
bullshit.
10 that are real.
It's the same as the hate raid bullshit. I hate it so much.
Needed to change that. I'm still working on something that you guys can't know about. Next creative, that map will be ready just in time for Halloween.
Which one do you guys want to do first? Bouncer tag or Smash Bros?
Bouncer tag.
Bouncer tag.
Bouncer tag. Okay, loading it.
Actually, let's save tag for when we get Meg in.
Wait.
Okay.
AFIC.
Then
What?
what are we doing?
Nope.
What are we doing?
Oh hey,
Hey,
I mean, one of you guys can pick.
Beck, Vaughn. Moon? Anything?
Hold on. Let me flip my way over to mine.
No, we will not wait.
Flipping your way over here. Are
When
you
do I have
serious? You
loaded
have
up?
to.
We're
You
just
have
gonna
to
flip.
emote.
Yeah.
Beck, I will kick you from this party.
We'll do my free for all for now.
Okay.
Works.
I still need to make more maps because
Oh
I
my
just
God.
have this and my laser tag, and we're doing bouncer tag later.
I'm losing.
There's so
the
many of
internet,
these on
don't
here
know
that I
why.
totally forgot about. Oh, and Jacob just lost. He was loud as hell.
What?
Oh
these?
no, y'all are gonna get fucking knocks on your door again.
No, it's just me because I'm like next to the other bedroom, like my neighbor's bedroom. He's
Are
like
you?
next to the hallway,
Oh my
so
God,
he's
wait,
fine.
Beck, do you not have? You don't have sliding on this map, do you? Oh no, you do. It just didn't let me. It just didn't let me.
Well, you're not allowed.
Is everybody here?
Yep.
Yep.
Yes.
So, there's the start game option.
I'm sure we
What's
talked about
happening?
This is a free for all map. This is Feck's free for all map.
I don't.
Just be last
Hold on.
one standing, and Storm is in the middle building. Or Storm closes into the middle building.
I don't have the start game.
No.
Hi, Alex.
Hi. Was that a? Did you drive by?
Yeah. I jumped onto the tree that you were on and then flew past it. I was just gonna keep hitting you, but I just fucking dropped.
Oh, I see
Guys?
Spider-Man.
No.
I don't have the start game option.
Hi.
What?
I don't either. Does anyone else have? Oh wait, I have it. What the
Huh?
fuck?
Why?
All
Why?
right, I own your map now, Feck.
What the
Okay.
fuck?
Well,
Damn.
fair enough.
That
I
was
guess.
short-lived, wasn't it? Well, apparently you don't because it's not. Okay, there we go.
It's loading. That was really weird. I don't know why.
What the actual fuck?
It's like, what did
I own
you
his map
do
now.
this time, Alex?
Somebody landed. Oh, I know who landed there. Huh?
Oh, you know who landed here, huh?
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
I know where Brit. I know where Brit is.
But what did
You
you
know.
do this time, Alex?
Yep.
No, I was just mocking them.
I just killed myself.
Oh
Wait,
my
actually?
Yeah.
Oh my god, she blew herself up.
I had the goo gun and I was aiming it at Feck, but it
And how did that
didn't
go?
fucking aim anywhere and just landed at my feet.
That was an explosive death.
Well, remember,
Feck,
if
leave me
you
alone.
stand on a dropped item, you'll be okay.
Where you at, Vaughn?
Feck, are you in the building that I landed on?
No.
Go to the building that I landed on.
Go to the one I landed in. I want you to
Vaughn.
die the same way I did.
No, that's not why.
I'm just talking about
I know, I know.
I'm not that much of a dick.
That much, she says.
You got a key!
Keys.
Let's go!
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know why
That's
they're
exactly
adding
what
this.
you needed.
it's because the chests that you put on the floor have that default on, because it matches the chests in the season.
It's just weird.
Yeah, I agree,
Trust me.
but that's why it does it.
Put it there.
Okay, well, I was gonna tell you to go on the other side. Can you make it to the other side of the building from where you are?
Probably. Maybe.
Jackie,
You
Probably cut into the building.
not
and do it
telling
that
you.
way.
Why not?
Yeah.
Who
Oh,
built
well.
this here?
Yes.
Oh, the storm is closing. That's cool.
Oh, great.
We built this city.
We built this city on rock and roll.
Yes. And there's one
Yes.
other thing too. I think it's farther up from where you are.
He's throwing nades. Stop it.
No one.
Listen up.
Oh, there's also a big dot. Yeah. If you look straight up, Feck, there's a little nook there that has what I was talking about. You gotta build.
Hi.
You have to. You have to build.
Oh no 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 no!
I can build. I keep forgetting I can build.
Do it.
There you
Oh,
go.
hi there, Storm. How are you?
There you go. Do you see why I
Oh,
landed that
Alex,
building?
did you?
Ooh, shit.
Alex,
What?
did you
Uh-oh.
see the sudden thunderstorm that's in
Well, you
Lake
didn't need to do
Michigan?
that one, but,
I saw the thunderstorm in Zion.
Yeah, dude, it's just
Oh,
random.
you guys had thunderstorms? Wow.
It must be
There's-
nice.
There's a like lightning just I don't know, it was just a storm that just randomly appeared in Lake Michigan, and we're just like, what? I mean, you
Yeah, no, we
couldn't-
were in Gurnee earlier because we were at a coal farm.
It's supposed to rain
You were at a
Tuesday.
coal farm? Why were you at a coal farm?
Kroll farm.
Kroll. Oh my god, I'm like, why the
Yeah.
fuck?
I thought he said
Yeah,
crawl.
we went to Coles, you know?
Oh
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, that's what I did.
You went to Coles?
No.
Meanwhile,
Oh
What?
fuck.
Jesus
Holy
fuck.
shit. Oh my god. You have other guns, you know.
oh, that's death.
Wow. Oh my god.
I won't go out alone.
You have other guns, Feck.
But that was the fun one.
The goo gun is actually pretty good.
Was it just me and Alex left?
Yes.
How did Vaughn die?
I died by
in that fight that you witnessed.
So, when did Moon die?
I
She got
died
that.
when Alex.
Oh, yeah,
took
that
me.
was me.
Oh.
I was
Okay.
glitched on the tree.
I'm gonna go to a different spot. I always go to the same spot.
Hey, Brett.
Hey, dude.
Wait, let's.
Here,
dude.
here. Wait, go the other direction. Go over here.
Ooh, throwable launch pad. Nice.
Oh, I have the best weapon.
There you go. We are far away from each other now.
Oh, did you use an impulse nade?
Yeah. Well, no, I used a shockwave, not an impulse.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's
we
what I
were
meant,
we were too high up. if
The
I
good
used
one.
an impulse nade, I would have gotten fucked.
We
yeah.
landed
I mean, you
in
could
the
have
place.
broke down. You could have broke down.
I
Yeah,
guess
we
you could
did.
say
We
that's
landed
shockingly
on the same
impressive.
building. I'll land on a different building next time.
I mean, so far landing on a different building has worked very well for me this game.
What the fuck is down there?
Wait, Vaughn, wait. We can...
He wants to make another deal. He's like, wait.
That wheeze.
I'm sorry.
I like, honestly, I didn't mean to. I just walked over, and then I heard somebody
This is
walking
so
around. So I was like, oh
This is
no.
like, wait.
This is my
Yeah,
death.
I'll leave you alone, Peck.
Okay, I was
doesn't
like, is
sound like you're leaving
anybody
me
dead
alone.
yet? Because like I'm picturing Feck dying very soon.
He almost did.
Oh, thank God. Really? Animal Crossing?
Why? Why? Oh, come on, man. That's so rude.
That is rude, but come on, I couldn't
That's
resist.
so mean. Oh, I'm stuck.
Come on, Alex.
Oh God.
I'm
You're
sorry,
stuck?
you came into my building. That was your fault.
For some reason my internet connection keeps fucking me
Beeping.
over.
Oh,
There's no collision.
I genuinely
Oh,
don't
wait,
know
why is there no
and it's
collision,
really
Feck?
fucking
of course
hating
there's
me.
no clue.
Really fucking hating me. Yeah, dude, he's me. Alright? Shut up. Fuck
No,
collision.
you're you.
Specifically, when Britt was helping me make this map, Britt was
Oh,
like,
shit.
hey, don't turn collision on because it'll make Alex. So I was like,
Oh yeah, I was. I definitely. Oh, let's go!
Yeah, I blew myself up.
Woo!
So who's left?
No one.
So Britt,
No
I'm
one.
guessing Vaughn.
Okay, bye.
Come here. Come here. Oh shit.
Let's go!
Shit.
Wait.
Yeah!
Wait.
I blew you up, bitch!
0 eliminated, 0 eliminations, all the glory.
Oh,
All the
I
glory.
forgot that Feck was alive this whole time.
Yeah, Feck was literally just asked who else is alive.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I killed
Okay.
you, bitch!
I guess all I have to do is cut deals with people.
Yeah, you shouldn't have let him live that second time. I only let him live because I only had a sniper.
What the fuck? Climb the building! What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing, Alex?
Not climbing a building! I swear to God, if you hit me in the first 5 seconds, I'm
Yeah,
gonna cry.
Yeah, you're not
Oh,
Spider-Man.
oh,
you
what
know?
are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, huh?
I said I was gonna cry.
What are you gonna do, big guy? Step on me?
You're just gonna cry.
I'm just gonna cry on
You're
the
just
spot.
gonna pout.
Wait, whoever that is, wait.
No, fucking kill him. Fucking kill him.
No,
Fucking kill him.
Fucking kill him.
no, I don't deserve this.
Or do you?
I've done nothing wrong.
You created the map.
Wait.
That's not my fault.
Where's that shit?
It is your
Wow,
fault.
that is
You
incredibly
literally
rude.
created it.
That has nothing to do with me, honestly.
I'm gonna sneeze. Jesus fuck.
Other than your
Go.
name being on it.
Places. I had to get out of there.
Oh
I
no!
don't like-
Not again! Come on.
Hi.
Oh, did you get blown up again?
You're
Let
gonna
her
die. I'm gonna.
live.
No, don't worry. I'm gonna wet him with the hose tomorrow.
Oh shit! Do it.
Oh yeah, that's
Do
right.
it. Take a video of it and fucking post it somewhere.
No.
But
Yes.
I forgot she works with me tomorrow. Yeah, damn it.
Primal pistol. The fuck?
I
Yeah,
got you.
it's the
I'll do
worst
it
gun
tomorrow.
ever.
I heard somebody. I heard. Which piece of shit did I just hear?
Which
What the
piece of
fuck
shit?
just happened?
That was
Payback.
beautiful. That aim was amazing.
I just realized I sounded like I threw up. Oh, jeez. Oh, that
I
hurt.
keep coughing, man.
Please stop.
I
Please.
think it's because of all the dust.
What the? Whoa! Do you have a burst?
That's a rapid
No.
fire.
Oh.
Dude, I think it's all headshots, right? Fuck.
I have no idea.
There was no way.
I know
it
this.
wasn't. I died way too fast.
Wait, huh? How? Is he alive?
No.
Oh,
I didn't hit him at
Rocket
all
launcher
with the
too.
rocket. I basically just
Bullshit.
scared him.
I'm number 1.
I didn't hit him
Oh my
at
God.
all with the rocket.
That was dumb.
Oh my goodness. What the hell?
Oh, that was it? Oh. I wanted Moon to get a revenge, man.
That was quick.
That was quick.
was
That was
quick.
really quick. Whoever has the start button, start it up again.
It's not me.
It's not me this time.
Oh shit.
Wait for me to respawn.
It ain't,
It's
it ain't
not
me.
Oh,
Let me
Moon, it's you, right?
no. I don't.
Oh,
don't
I got
see
it. No, I got it. I
anything.
got it. I got it. I got it. I got it.
Wait
I'm in the middle of respawning. Okay.
What do you mean you're in the middle of respawning? It doesn't matter. We're
Everybody
gonna
in?
fucking respawn in the sky. What do you mean?
I might respawn in the ground, you know?
Hi guys.
At the-
Nobody's in the ground.
Hello.
I know that for a fact.
excuse me.
Jesus fuck, dude.
I'm sorry.
Sir, come on.
Christ.
What did you eat?
Sir.
God damn.
Oh,
Sir.
Jesus.
Excuse me,
What?
sir.
Oh wait,
forget
hold
what
on,
turns
already!
on
Wait,
fire.
hold on, Vaughn! What the fuck?
Vaughn died
Please,
already?
I know I'm gonna do it.
No,
so
no,
kill me.
he sniped
Me.
Moon again.
But I got
Damn.
40k XP just for
Bro.
throwing.
I didn't even land.
I'm sorry.
No,
Vaughn.
I'm wedding
Yeah.
your ass tomorrow.
Vaughn, stop fake apologizing to people. Nobody believes
I'm
them.
sorry. I feel
I am
bad
hosing
now.
your ass down. I don't care if they fire me on the spot. I am hosing you down.
No.
Oh, y'all work
God.
together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You didn't catch that from Vaughn saying, "Oh shit, I forgot she worked with me."
Oh, I actually did miss that. I thought they just meant they were hanging out together and they were just gonna like, you know, just mess with the water hose for whatever the fucking reason.
Just gonna mess with
Hey
it.
Vaughn, do you want to
Too
come
close,
over my house? Do you want to come over my house?
She's good.
Every single
I'm
sprinkler on
having
deck.
Gonna, yeah, dude, she's gonna fucking kill you. Don't go.
Yeah. I know.
Vaughn, I'm having problems with my hose. Can you come and take a look?
I'm
Jeez.
having problems. My
I-
problem is that you're not over here, so I can fucking
I got
spray you.
I got too many
No.
hose. Please help me fix them.
No.
See, that's the problem.
Bad
See, that's the
joke.
problem. See,
Bad
that's the problem.
joke.
I don't get any.
So who was in the building that got like super blown up?
There's a building that got super blown up. It wasn't
Just
me.
curiosity.
I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Alex,
Okay,
was that
Shaggy.
you? Vaughn, was that you?
No, it wasn't me.
Are you lying?
Someone's
Oh,
around me.
somebody
I don't like
set a fucking shield bubble. I'd like whoever set that shield bubble to know that I am actually inside of the bubble. So if you're trying
Really?
to protect yourself
Fine.
from somebody, I'm in it.
You are not safe.
You are not safe.
Oh no.
Oh, I have no mats.
Can I tell you guys a joke?
Bro, you have no
No.
math? What
Yeah.
the fuck happened?
Okay. How do computers get drunk?
How?
Holy shit, somebody's calling me. Sorry, hold on.
Jeez.
They take a screenshot.
Oh, it's my dog outside. So, we gotta finish this shit quick.
We could just.
Hey, whoever
stand
has the start button, let's just do it again. And there's 40 seconds until the circle's at its smallest, so may as well finish the round out. Otherwise, I'm gonna swap to another person to get some content.
Oh, I'm just gonna be
Oh, that's a
AFK
bad time
until
to
I.
reload.
If you see me, just remember that I'm AFK.
Yeah,
Bruh.
it's just you and Vaughn now, and yeah,
No, I mean
Wait,
after
Alex,
this
what
round.
happened to you?
I
Brit.
fell.
Brit is a third-party asshole.
Yes.
Brit, I dare you to launch that directly under you. You won't die.
She won't, but she'll have very little health.
Hi, buddy.
all this
God.
spam build.
Oh yeah.
No!
Let's go.
Why? Why do you use the goo gun that close?
He was trying to stick me before I fucking shot a rocket right in his ass.
Yeah,
Alright,
slash rocket.
I am going to land somewhere obscure. If you find me, don't kill me. I'm coming right back.
Okay.
Oh, maybe.
Take your time.
Well,
Okay.
Hold on. Fuck.
Definitely shoot Brit in the face the moment you find her.
All right, will do.
I'll strike a deal. I'll strike a deal. Wait, hold on. Oh,
Stays on
landing
top.
obscure. Obscure enough
I'm
that
landing
you
somewhere I
fuckers
haven't
don't kill me.
yet.
Don't kill
I've been trying to
Moon
land in a
first.
different building.
Don't be an ass.
No promises.
I promise this.
I'll be right back.
Please don't. Please don't.
If I see you
Please don't
and I have a
snipe me.
weapon that does the murder, I
You
will do
bitch!
the murder. Well, you were
Vaughn,
not
why
the
did
first
you
one
come
dead.
here? You
I-
already had a weapon.
So, you first, so, yeah.
You're a bitch,
Vaughn.
I know.
What happened?
What
Vaughn's
happened?
a bitch.
Good answer.
Like, what else do you need to know? Vaughn has a goo
No.
gun. He's
Wow.
working his way down the what is that?
What-
The northernmost building.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
What are you
northernmost building?
talking
Gotcha.
about?
Northernmost
No.
building. He has a purple shotgun. He's filling up on shield right now, so he's about to have full health.
Boom.
He's making his way down.
Missed.
He's on the third floor.
Fuck, you're such a dick.
He's now on the second floor. Vaughn's a dick.
You're being
He's,
such a
he's-
dick. Oh, come on!
He's
All
now ground level.
Come on, at least she's at the first end, but like, fuck, man.
I'm sorry.
He's
I told you,
outside. He's
I had
passing
a
by an
weapon
RV.
that does the murder. I was
pat-
going to do the murder.
He's staring at the big tree right now. He's about to walk into a building.
Oh, in fact, I can see his footsies.
Wait, he's staring at the big tree? I'm
Yeah,
just
he,
near there.
he looked at it for a moment. He's building.
Hey, Alex, wanna
like
team
a
up with
tower.
this first?
What?
I said, wanna team up with this first? I got a line on him.
Go for it, go for it. Come here, Spider-Man.
Are you
He's
chasing him now?
crouching in a building.
I don't know where he
From
was.
left.
He's outside.
Oh, he's in a building.
on a porch. He's struggling with a tree.
I hear him, I hear him, I hear him, I hear him.
Yeah, I heard him. This is me, this is me, this is me. Hi.
Yeah, I see you. I dinked him.
No, he didn't.
He just ignored a special chest because he's a dumbass.
Okay, I'm come.
Or he's a coward.
Both? How about that?
He's building. He's running to the top of the building, and he's about to get himself killed. He's behind Darth Vader.
Yeah, heard that.
He killed
blew
himself.
up.
Oh my
All
god!
right, cool.
Okay.
Alright, now it's just you and me.
Gentlemen.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Or don't, gentlemen. That's fine.
Fine, fine, fine. Can I get the sniper at least?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which sniper do you like more, actually, Alex?
What sniper do you have?
I have the Cobra.
The other one.
No, you can keep that one.
Okay.
Okay, we'll run away, and then when it says 30 seconds on the countdown tower, then we'll just get back on it.
Yeah, dude.
I think we're the only ones
Thank you.
left. All things
Yeah,
considered.
We 100% are.
Well, Jackie, at least I didn't kill you
I have no
first.
shield. I realize you also don't have overshield on this map pack.
No, he's
Because overshield is for cowards.
Gotcha.
No, it's
I
not.
like
enough, fair
overshield,
enough.
but you know.
Says Vaughn, the coward.
What are you talking
Yeah, I'm
about?
running away. You could have just fought me like a real man, and you decided to run.
Yeah, but that.
Oh, hi there, coward. There's still 8
God.
seconds, and then I'll be back for you. Oh, also, I could see your storm control device.
Yeah, I don't know why that's a thing.
Yeah, you can turn that off.
I
Alright,
did.
let's fight.
I have.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh, shit! Okay. Jeez, I was almost dead,
You
man.
hit me with
Holy
the shotgun,
shit.
and I was at like 9 health.
Alex, I
Alright, well.
thought you would use a rocket launcher.
Brit is
Because I
is
didn't
a
want to blow
winning.
myself up.
Huh? I'm a what? Huh?
Brit's a winning, I guess.
Am I? Did I win last round? I can't remember.
Yeah.
I can't remember
Yeah,
what
I
happened.
should have just been a bitch.
Oh,
Okay,
I'm
that was the
through
fight.
the floor. This is interesting.
No, it's a fight for second place.
My turn.
Oh no! Why am I
Return,
gliding so
asshole.
early? What the fuck
Yeah, I was
is
about to
this?
say I won the very first round, so I'm okay.
I'm gliding so early. Oh, this is so shitty. God damn it. Is Maggie getting on anytime soon? Yeah.
She's gonna be probably half an hour minimum.
Interesting. That was just random shit just laying on the floor. That's weird.
Hey, I wouldn't complain because sometimes that's good shit.
I mean, it is, but like, I'm just confused.
Aren't we all confused these days?
Somebody's healing.
I know you're not by me.
I'm guess it's tech.
No,
not
it's
me.
not fact. It's definitely not fact. Like, I know for
I
a
mean, I
fact
am
it ain't
healing
fact.
now, but it's not me.
I know for a fact it's not fact.
Who is it?
I don't know who it is. I know it's not you.
I
'cause
don't
I saw where
know.
you
Britt, are
landed.
you the one healing right now?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so then it's not you.
Oh, hi, Vaughn! Holy shit!
By someone that's healing. It's
Did you
myself.
you just put that shit right in front of yourself, didn't you?
Me, myself, and I, solo ride until I die.
Key. I wish I had a reason to use these.
Oh,
Yeah, you
hi.
can add a reason on your map if you want.
Yeah, but then I'd have to remove it at the end of the season.
No, you can keep it. You can like literally add keys
Nice.
like in creative right now.
Oh.
Yeah, it's an actual item now.
Woo! You can still see me. Okay.
You would just have to add spawners, or if
Oh,
you just want
shit.
to keep with the meta, then just don't worry about it. Or this could be a map you always update based on the season.
No. Oh.
Woo. Oh, what the fuck? You saw me go in there?
Yeah, I was the first rocket.
I didn't
completely missed
know I didn't know you saw me go in there. I thought you were going for Vaughn because Vaughn's right there.
Oh, I actually didn't know he was there.
He's right there. Yeah.
I
Yep.
just heard a lot of explosions go off and then Brit died.
Oh, you fucker.
Yeah, I genuinely thought that the rocket was for Vaughn.
I know, I did not know he was there. Otherwise, yes, it would have been for him.
So Alex is healing. He's grabbing a big time.
But I have a question. Why are you helping me? I was a complete dick to you last round.
Well, oh, okay. So, Alex, Fick has a blue rocket.
Yeah, wait, Moon's still alive too. Hey, help Moon actually.
Yeah, no, help Moon, help
Jackie
Moon.
has a throwable
Whoa,
launch
whoa,
pad.
whoa,
She has a
whoa,
big
whoa.
pod.
Shut up!
No, I said help, not give away
Oh.
the shit.
Meanwhile,
Hey.
So there's
Hey.
explosives over
Hey.
there. Don't go over there. Hey, you're with us now, buddy.
Hey now, you're a rock star.
Ooh,
He threw down a
get
shield.
him. Oh. Oh shit.
He's a coward.
wow, you're a coward, Alex.
He's a coward.
I don't like you.
Aw. You know what? You lasted to the end.
Alex point
Yeah.
blank rocketed. He's a coward.
Oh, I got yelled at for
Oh,
not doing it
man.
the other game.
So this map is no longer Fex. It is Alex's and mine.
Yeah, I can't use it
Because
anymore.
it
It doesn't.
is
what
ours
happening?
now. Let's see if that happens for
So we have
any other map.
co-ownership.
I want to see if that happens for every other map.
Yeah, yep, nope. I still don't have ownership over my map.
Who's next?
I don't have it anymore, so.
Brit could kind of make sense, you know.
I currently have the
Yeah, 'cause I
survival
helped you
rocket
make
arena.
it.
I also have the Minecraft one. We have to like avoid the floors falling.
I thought that was Fall Guys.
Oh, where are you?
Would you rather dodge rockets or not have the floor fall?
I don't know. floor call?
Minecraft.
All right, Minecraft it is. Oh, lag. Hi, lag. How are you?
Oh shit. Oh Jesus Christ. Oh Jesus Christ.
Oh god.
I warned
my
you.
God.
I warned you.
Hi.
Is
Hi.
it dark for everybody right now, or
Yeah.
Yes.
I just hear creepy music.
it's bright daylight in this?
Jackie,
Yeah,
so go to your menu and then
it wasn't
press,
right.
background.
Oh, right.
Sorry,
I
what?
made this an 8
Oh yeah,
now.
don't
Yeah,
forget to go back
Alex,
to the hub.
this isn't. You didn't want it to be Minecraft. You wanted to say Fall Guys.
No. Well, okay, yes, but no.
I
'Cause
thought
this
that
is
was the
based
main
off
reason
of the-
why you did this.
So,
It was supposed to be inspired off of it, but every single time, like, I looked up something, everyone kept saying, "Oh, it's like the Minecraft, like TNT run." It's like, no, it's supposed to be Fall Guys.
I don't see this as TNT Run at all. You know what? Sure, whatever. I guess I don't
Yeah,
play Minecraft minigames enough.
Yeah, I don't play Minecraft minigames at all, so. And no, we
I
don't
used
get
to
sprint
play
on
them
this
a whole
map.
bunch.
Who's all here?
so I'm still waiting for Jackie. Jackie, so you go to your menu and you go all the way down to the little
Hi, back.
Hello.
Woo! I
menu,
overshot.
like it's like before. It's like a little.
Oh,
can't
right,
get-
we
we
can't.
can't
climb.
give you a
and
hug,
then we
man.
press back.
Wait, yeah, we can't do that because you can cheat up
You
floors.
will forever
so
beg for a hug. Oh well. Hey, Alex.
you will
come
never
here.
receive a hug. Hi. Hug.
Hey, buddy.
Do I just go back to lobby?
No,
When
back
d-
to hub.
When darkness and darkness hunters meet.
Yeah, stay away. Don't hurt me. Yeah. Wait, hold on.
Get
Didn't
back
this
over
map
here.
like not work the last time we did this?
Yep. So
It,
we're gonna
it
hope it
hasn't
works.
worked the last 4 times we've done it.
Oh, it's because Epic, man.
I'm so confused. What's going on?
Come here.
I'm gonna hope this is the time. This is the time that it's gonna work.
Boop. That time it was actually on your
Oh,
nose. Holy
Earn
shit.
20k XP and creator
What happened, Jackie?
experiences. Am I a creator now?
What am I supposed to do?
Do you have a
enter
code,
Void
Alex?
Go to your menu
Apparently, I guess
and then
maybe.
look for
Use code
Wait,
Nintendo
I
Wallet
can't.
in
I
the
can't
shop.
hear Soul.
Sorry.
So
No,
you
it's
go to
fine.
your
Go
you
ahead.
go to your menu and then you go all the way down to settings and it should be says back to the speaker stick. Here you go.
I got it. Thank you.
Oh shit. Oh. I'm just gonna stay up here.
Alright, all 5 of us are here. I can actually start up my own map.
Wow! Fact, you're just fucked.
Wait, what is this?
Rob,
No.
Move.
Oh god.
Don't stop moving.
Oh god.
You
Oh
cannot
fuck
sprint in
you,
this
you
mode,
son of a
so-
bitch.
yeah, the goal
Oh,
is to be
yeah.
the last one standing. There are 5 layers.
Oh fuck me. My game just lagged again.
No! Oh, no.
There's no
Yeah,
sprinting
as
either.
far as I know, that's the only issue.
No.
Yeah, I turned it off
Fuck.
because you can cheat the floors by doing that.
Oh!
Because if I wanted to change it for
Sorry.
sprint timing, I would
I
have to
didn't
lower the
mean to
amount of
fuck
time
you
the
over.
floors exist.
Yeah.
It just happened. I'm lagging like crazy down here. I'm gonna be the first one dead.
No, I think I am.
What
I
floor
don't know.
are you
We're
on?
both on the same. We're both on the same level. We're
The
on
last one.
Oh.
We're both on the same one. So let's see.
Hey,
Oh,
let's just get
God.
rid of everything so they could die faster.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
no,
fuck.
it's
Nope.
Honestly, kind of a strat to fall early.
Shit.
Oh crap!
Oh, is Feck? Oh no, Feck's not the highest. Never mind.
No, I'm
I'm
dead.
the
I'm
highest.
dead.
Feck, bro, you gotta go anywhere else, man. Underneath you is all lava.
I'm running out of space.
Oh, I can just take my sweet ass time up here then.
Oh no!
Wow.
That took a minute. That was a
that's
very short
so
round.
upsetting, man. Yeah, fuck you.
I know what was happening.
Alright,
I
well, now
was
that we know what's
lagging that
happening, this should
entire
be more
time.
fair. I don't know why I put you two on the same spawn last round.
Alex?
You're the one that wanted to come over me.
Come
Yeah.
over me? What?
Wait. Whoa.
Ah!
What?
Have a good strategy.
That was
Now
not a good
everyone's
strategy.
targeting me. Everyone's targeting me.
Well, yeah, I wonder why. You won.
I'll just drink my Sprite in peace.
Ah, hi, Moon.
There is
Sorry.
no
Before I hit this corner.
Ah, shit. Never mind.
No.
Ah, fuck.
Oh,
Ah, shit.
You guys have fun down there.
How many floors did you just fall down?
I fell down 3.
It's like,
I'm on second to
fuck.
last.
Oh shit.
Why? So, Alex, your bottom doesn't
No.
like have an edge.
What do you mean?
The
I was
bottom
about to
floor
say,
doesn't
someone
have
must
an
triggered it.
outside.
Someone must have triggered it already.
That's crazy. I wonder
Yeah.
why.
No, gee, I wonder why, Feck.
Oh, Feck, are you all the way down there already?
That's wild.
Oh.
You bitch!
No! Oh, fuck.
No!
I fucking lagged, dude. Oh
No!
No!
I'm gonna
How
die.
could you
I'm
do
gonna
my
die.
god, oh my god, is everybody dying again? Are you kidding me?
What
Shit.
the fuck?
Why would you
Please.
do this?
Vaughn, did you die first?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Wait, were you first?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because I thought I was first, but I was above somebody else's name.
Yeah,
That
I
was
thought
very
you were
strange.
first too.
I'm like, huh? Oh,
Whoa!
fuck.
Whoa!
Brit.
Why the floor is falling so fast?
Brit.
Oh.
Fine, shut up.
Woo!
Okay, mate.
I just have to continuously jump, or else I'm not going to be able to make it.
I didn't make it.
Well, considering you're lagging, yes, but on a normal.
Ah, shit,
Right.
Vaughn! Ah, fuck!
I blame you.
Oh, you blame me? You were running over me! What do you
I
mean?
blame you first.
Bullshit, you blame me. You were running to my side. I was minding my own business.
Woo!
I had no fucking idea you were over there.
My eye itches.
Good.
Good.
What itches?
His eye.
Sorry, what? Oh.
My eye
What do you
captain.
think he said?
You don't want to know.
You're
Becky.
right.
Yeah, honestly, considering you said that.
Oh, fuck.
Who's this?
I'm
Vaughn,
pretty sure he
Vaughn,
said my
Vaughn.
pelotas itches.
What does that mean?
Oh, bye, buddy. See you later. Oh, Vaughn fucking died from that. Oh, because there's
Okay,
no
that's
bottom
good.
floor. Oh, okay, I see. I
Oh
understand.
my
Feck,
God.
jump, Feck, jump. We
Fuck!
can both live. Feck!
No, fucking kill
You
Alex,
win.
man.
Damn it.
Yes!
Dude,
That's
I was
okay.
gonna last longer too. I just missed
I
the
call
fucking
hats.
jump. That's so
Okay.
upsetting.
Yeah, you could have actually won that if you would have made that jump.
Fuck.
Let's go.
No, Feck. We're not gonna go.
Go where? Oh, bye, Feck.
Down.
That's the best solution right there. Sorry, Alex.
You're a bitch.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, Brett.
Ah, fuck. Well, you're coming down with me, bitch.
Yeah, it's about to victimized everybody.
You're with me, man.
Why are you moving faster than me? Why are you actually moving faster than me?
Cause you're lagging and he's the bitch.
I'm using a computer.
Yeah, but I'm on auto right
Ah! Why did that
That's
happen?
alright.
I lagged behind me. How did that happen? Why?
Yeah, how did that happen?
Ah, you could
I
have
was-
saved that for me, Britt.
I was trying to fuck Vaughn over and I I just like lagged behind
What was that
me and
screech,
just
Alex?
got
Moon's
fucked up.
yell. No, that wasn't me. That was Moon.
That was Jackie.
That was oh wait, that was you? I genuinely did think it was Alex. I was like, yeah, Alex just did that.
No.
I do have very early screams.
No. I'm
Sounded
sorry.
like a frog.
Brit, no. Brit, no. Brit,
I just don't want to be first, man. I just don't want to be first out. I don't want to be first.
First.
Alfred, how could you do this to
How's it
me?
going,
I don't wanna be first
Sergeant
out.
Carter?
I worked so hard.
Oh well, this sucks. Hi, Britt. Bye, Britt.
Hey, I
Bye.
win. I win.
Oh, okay.
I win.
Yeah, no, he was way too high.
I got hacks. Yeah, I was
Gotta
out first,
get
right?
high.
Second out. I didn't want to do that at all. I completely like forgot that you screamed. I was so caught up in the scream part. I forgot that you
That
died.
scream was
in
so
scream.
I'm sorry.
No, it was great. Don't
No,
be
it was
sorry about
great.
that.
No!
No shit. Ah fuck.
Bye, Britt.
I fucked over Moon and then just fucked myself over. God damn it.
God.
Yeah, that's what I get. Yeah, absolutely. That is 100% what I get for that. You okay? It's fucking
What
hot.
did you step
What the
on? Did you
fuck?
step on a cat?
Ah shit! Oh fuck me, dude. What the hell?
Were you really
My
everything?
sister scared me. My sister scared me.
Oh no, that wasn't even a part of the game. That was.
Spooky mom.
Go, Alex. Oh no! Uh oh.
I hope you have fun down there, guys.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna
That's not good.
hose you tomorrow. Don't worry.
No, what are you talking about? I got enough.
Bro,
I hope-
you're the
I
reason
hope-
for half
I
of her
hope-
deaths.
I really do hope Chavez puts us together so I could hose you down.
No.
And then right when Nick fires me, I'm just gonna ask him, hey, can you send me the video of me hosing Devon down, please? Thank you.
A mess.
Oh, Vaughn is still
Can you send that video my way?
alive.
No, put it on TikTok. Put it on TikTok.
Fuck.
No,
Vaughn
we're
is the
gonna-
highest
we'll
up there.
get
Y'all
thousands
gotta
of views.
last, man.
Has Vaughn dropped any layers?
No.
Now, yes.
How did you
Wait,
guys
are we
work?
the last two standing?
No,
No,
Vaughn's
I'm
up too.
What?
Yeah,
Come on,
fucking are the
Vaughn,
only
come
ones who
down
died.
here. Oh wait, I'm about to.
Dude, my time's about to look really fucking embarrassing, bro.
Yeah, I was about to
Oh,
say,
shit.
let me.
job.
You
yeah, I was
were
about to say,
not
let me go
paying
fuck him
attention to
over.
that one, Vaughn.
Yo,
Good job, Vaughn.
Bye.
What? What the
Wait.
fuck happened?
No.
Nah,
No, that's
yeah,
some
Vaughn
bullshit.
lagged through the floor. That's what happened to me a
that's lame.
whole bunch.
That is so fucking.
Thirty-
Look at
36
see my
seconds.
fucking time.
36 seconds.
It's a new record.
No,
Oh, wait,
new
why have to
record is
clear
just
our
being
wins?
fucking AFK, but
I
I was
like
pretty
this
damn
game
close.
so far.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, you made it? I like it.
Thank you. Yeah, the last one was Fex map.
Oh, I like that one too.
I'll win
Then,
truck color switch.
I just
any
kept
day.
dying because of what's his face. So
Wait.
What's
I was about
his
to say,
face?
Vaughn, you should do one of your races. You should do one of your races.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh. Okay. If they are working properly.
The
Epic.
foot race should be fine. Foot race should be fine.
Yeah, we can't do any team-based ones because we're 5 people, but... Unless, you know, a viewer from the stream wants to join in.
Hey, viewers!
Hey!
Hello!
Wait, Fex said something about color. Fex,
Oh,
were
I
you putting
said-
color switch?
I said I'll win truck color switch any day, but I was joking.
Ooh, yeah, but I have that saved.
You know
Do
what? Yeah.
I have it saved.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, cool.
Oh, lagging. Jesus Christ.
Truck switch accept.
All right. So there's platforms that are colored and trucks, and you have to drive onto them or you die.
The game will say what color is next, and you have to run to that color.
Yeah, you gotta
And
guess.
Alex
okay.
is a bitch.
or drive.
I
this
am
game?
not. I am not.
So,
He actually is. That is actually a fact.
Alex is actually a bitch.
Actually, factually.
Actual
Ready
factual. Ready up. Who are you looking at?
Hey.
So it's kind of like
Who are
Twizzler.
you looking at?
Spider
It
Point.
looks so weird that Darth Vader's fucking doing
Wait, hold
this
on.
shit.
Wait, hold on. Fex, look at me real quick. Oh, no,
Aw.
never mind.
Bye.
We're out of time.
Bye.
I'm sad that the hanging upside down from a web thing is Spider-Man specific because there's so many other Spider-Man skins now that it would be good.
It'd be
Spider-Man.
so good.
Yeah.
I want to do it
Alright,
with Tom
before we
Holland,
start-
man.
Before we start, Feck, hold on. Wait,
I'm
crap.
gonna do it with
Game's
Tim.
lagging.
Tim Drake. What?
Tim Drake. What?
I don't want to do it with
Tim
Tim
Drake.
Drake. Tim Drake's the wrong Drake.
Oh.
Nathan Drake.
Tim
Feck.
Drake.
All right, Britt, ready?
Huh? Huh?
Feck, just look at me. You. Are you supposed to be dead?
Damn. Aren't you supposed to be dead? That's fucked up.
I need to watch
Damn,
Into
that-
the Spider-Verse.
That's touche.
That's one Spider-Man movie I haven't watched that I genuinely want to watch.
It's
What?
literally the
Spider-Verse?
best one.
It's
Spider-Verse.
honestly, it's
Which
like the
Haven't watched
best.
Into
Into the Spider-Verse.
It's literally the best one.
Haven't watched it.
This is say I can-
I have no attachment to Gwen at all. I choose white.
I'm gonna
I think
guess
it's been
red.
Goku.
I'm gonna choose black because shut up.
Sure.
Green.
Green. Fuck.
Feck was about to leave too. He did not commit in his own color.
Ooh.
Oh, Moon went too fast.
Oh,
You forgot
fuck.
to hit the
Vaughn,
brake.
did you fucking...
I didn't
No,
do
no,
shit.
no, no.
I blame Vaughn.
Drove right
I
off.
blame Vaughn.
Yeah, I blame Vaughn too.
I blame Vaughn completely.
Save yourself.
I was just
Get
trying
him
to
off,
I
Vaughn!
wasn't
Get him
trying
off! Wow, Vaun. Get Vaun off, Feck.
Okay, sure. I'll get Feck off.
Get Vaughn
to-
off,
It-
Feck.
Vaughn, it was coming back up. I was joking.
Okay. Hey, stay chill. Oh, all four of us. Oh, okay. Sick.
We're good, we're
Cool.
good.
Give me away. I want yellow.
Vaughn,
Blue.
it's gonna be this one.
Blue, let's go.
Shit.
Blue.
Oh right, I forget.
Come on,
we gotta
Feck. Come on,
keep the
Feck.
Staying alive.
Yeah, let's go. Hey,
Hell
buddy.
yeah.
Oh, I can't.
How do you
I
honk?
can't honk my horn. There we go.
I had to switch seats to
Why
do
can't
it.
Why can't I honk my horn?
I had
Oh,
to
don't
switch
kill me!
seats.
Don't you dare kill me!
I was about to say, I can...
Vaughn, I will
Yeah.
fly to Illinois to fucking punch you in the
I didn't
face.
do anything.
Do it.
That yellow? Looks like a wing.
Oh, you guys
Oh,
okay?
Vaughn.
Oh!
Vaughn almost got
Oh my
fucked.
god,
Oh my,
Vaughn!
you did get fucked because of Vaughn.
No, I didn't do anything.
You fucked her over.
No, I didn't.
You completely
fucked her.
just pushed me off.
No, I didn't.
You did. You
Rude.
100% did. I actually clipped it too. You're gonna get exposed.
Oh, fuck that. Clip
Purple.
Purple.
No.
Fuck over Vaughn.
Get him! Get him!
Yeah, you guys
Get him!
say I'm
Get
the
him!
bad one
Get
with
him! Honestly, it is a toss-up between you and Vaughn. Vaughn's just the villain of this round.
I just have a strategy about it. I'll save you.
Get him! Get him! Get him!
Back, go forward. There you go.
Ooh,
Nothing's
uh-oh.
gonna happen.
Uh-oh.
Nah. We have way too much time. Purple.
Blue.
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 Yeah. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Stop. Stop.
No.
Stop it.
Green.
Purple.
White.
White.
All the way out.
Hi, bitch.
No! No! Feck!
Sorry, Alex. That wasn't intentional. I just.
I know. You're trying to get to the other white. I was going to the one Bond is at so I could fuck him over.
Hey.
Hi, Megan.
Sorry, Feck.
Oh, ouch, ouch.
You bitch.
That should have stayed up. These trucks are front heavy. I should have leaned back.
Lean back.
I don't know, Feck. Tires are pretty heavy.
I think engines are way heavier.
I guess, but like tires are
But when
pretty
you have
heavy.
4 tires versus 1 engine.
I don't think you guys know how heavy an engine is.
Platoon?
I think I know how heavy it is.
I'm gonna guess red first.
To be fair, there's a lot of
Black.
colors.
Hold on.
Red, please
Red
don't fuck
drive.
me over,
Red drive.
please.
I'm not gonna fuck anybody over. I swear. I swear. I swear.
Notice how Vaughn isn't fucking over
Thank you.
Moon.
Checking
Being
you
polite.
just looking at me.
Yellow.
No, no. I almost died.
Everybody's okay. Hey guys, we're the chilled squad.
We got this. Yes. Green.
Purple.
Oh
Green.
shit! Good call. God damn.
Ah!
Hold the last three. I am a witch.
Fuck him over. Fuck him over.
I'm
Fuck him
a
over.
witch.
Fuck him over.
Damn it.
Fuck
I'm
one
trying to come
over.
with
Red.
you so I can fuck him over.
Damn
If I,
it.
if I,
Oh, I'm coming with
if
you.
I was to
Bye.
edit this video, like, I
got
wonder how many
room.
edits of sec I have to put in.
Black.
Purple.
Red.
White.
Vaughn doesn't
Yellow,
deserve to
fuck.
drive an orange truck.
I am
I'm
Oh shit. My bad. My bad.
Oh no!
Yeah,
Oh,
there
you're
we
both
go.
dead. Oh, okay.
Well, karma, I guess.
Yes.
I don't know if
I was
Alex
trying
meant
to-
to do that or not.
I was trying to move over to actually let Moon on, and because of that, we both died.
Oh, okay. You just kept moving backwards on my screen. I'm like, you could maybe save
No,
yourself.
I was trying to hold forward. I couldn't. Like my front wheels were off
Where's
the
white?
ground.
You say
Oh,
where's
no,
white?
no,
Get him!
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 No way! No way! You lived
What?
that.
That's such
So
bullshit.
fucking
I
lucky.
take
Come over,
those.
I fell over.
That's actually bullshit. That
Oh my god!
no.
I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna just stay in. I'm just gonna stay right here, and I'm gonna execute myself. I don't care.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hold
well,
on.
It's 1v1.
Oops, wrong thing.
Let's slowly shrink in circle.
Yeet. Oh shit. Oh,
Get him.
Vaughn,
my
you
second.
bitch.
Vaughn, you.
I didn't. Okay.
This is
Vaughn.
why Vaughn's the
Vaughn.
bitch.
Shaking my head.
Vaughn, the day I meet you in person for the first time, the day I see you, the moment I see you, I'm slapping the fuck out of you.
Can I record it?
Yes.
No.
I'll post it on TikTok. Blue. I think it's gonna be blue first.
It's gonna be yellow.
Off topic, but on
It's
topic.
gonna be blue.
Like, eventually, like, when
No.
me and Mags get married, because there's no way it's not gonna happen. I am inviting you, Feck.
Yeah.
If it does not happen sooner, please let me record you slapping him.
Alex,
So jeez.
I got baby next to me, or on my
You have
lap. I guess,
baby!
actually. Not really next to me.
Hi, baby. Baby can't hear me.
Where are the
Baby can
headphones?
hear me, but I can't hear baby.
Baby can hear you.
Hey, baby. I want to meet you, but and on the other side of the fucking continent.
I'm gonna die again. It's fine.
I overshot. I overshot.
Oh my gosh!
Oh,
3
no.
people died. I meant to. What the hell happened to you guys?
I
I
overshot.
killed
Hi.
There's a 1v1.
Okay, so it's second moon. Okay.
Scared of him.
Moon.
Scared.
I'm fine.
Yeah,
You're not-
I know you wanna
you're not on
bring
my
out
hit
your
list,
menacing
so-
self.
Say hi to Alex and Beck and Jack.
Yeah, no, you want to bring out your
Hi.
menacing self.
Please say hi.
Hello.
I'm sorry, what?
I know you want
He's
to bring
just
out your
watching.
menacing
He's just
self.
watching my screen very, very intently. Oh, oh, get out of the storm.
Colors.
Purple.
Purple.
Life hack.
Oh.
No.
I overshot.
Round and away we go.
I saw my chance to murder Vaughn and I took it.
End of the night is going down.
Okay. Huh? Yeah. You're out of frame, but I don't have to turn on the microphone. Wait.
Sorry.
Soul.
Red.
Blue.
Red. I say it's red
The
too.
camera.
No, it's gonna be black.
Red. Red. No, it's gonna be red.
Fuck.
Purple.
Purple.
I think everybody was wrong.
Put it in reverse, Harry. Put it in reverse.
Put it in reverse, Shane. Put it in reverse.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Red trying.
Green.
Red trying. Black. Yeah.
Green.
Yeah.
No.
Bonk.
Sorry, I'm gonna need you to scoot
Hey,
over.
guys.
Yeah, I know. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah,
Ooh, ooh,
Britt,
ooh.
don't back up.
You can scoot over a little
Oh,
bit. I'm just trying to get her room to get onto the square more.
White.
I can't move my car sideways, so I just kind of had to chill there.
As well.
Vaughn, chill.
I almost died. I almost died.
I love how there's one overly crowded square every time.
Yeah.
Yellow.
Blue.
Red.
Oh, Alex.
Meow.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Did you just meow or was that him?
Okay, I'm calling yellow.
Ooh, purple.
Black.
Black.
Shit.
Okay.
Okay.
Who's on the desk, really? Oh, hi, Feck.
Hey,
How are you?
Good.
Oh, that's good.
Waiting for the right moment.
Red.
Right
Hello.
moment for what?
Yellow. I mean, white. White.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
Vaughn.
Kill Vaughn. Oh, okay.
Meanwhile, everybody's grouped up.
I can't honk my
Long
horn.
live the king.
I had
You
to switch
definitely
seats to
said-
honk my horn.
White.
Why? That's so dumb.
Purple.
Vibrant.
Bonk.
Vaughn. Bro.
Vaughn, you're a bitch.
Oh no.
What?
I am.
Shit.
I like being a bitch.
Black.
You know, I'll join you
Blue.
in black. It's
White.
fine.
Ooh, are you okay, Feck?
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Ooh. Ooh,
He
not
would be
if he does
better if
that.
he wouldn't
Ooh.
keep moving forward. Red,
Green.
Blue.
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 I keep calling.
Okay.
Alex?
I think we're chill.
I'm
I
good.
think
I'm
we're
good.
chill.
I'm good.
I
I'm
think
good.
we're
I'm
chill.
good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Storm, please move.
Green.
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 Fuck.
Move it!
Moon, I'm sorry.
No. What's up?
Okay, I have a serious question here. When you're playing bumper cars, when you're about to start,
Not
do you
disgust.
immediately target somebody to hit,
I don't
or
wanna
do
be
you
disgust.
just try to get away from people right away?
No.
I just get away.
Target people.
Okay,
This
I was
one's
curious.
less screwed up than the other.
Because me
Bless
personally,
you,
yeah, I
sir.
try to get away from people.
Oh, bless you.
Bless you, sir. Oh no.
Bless you.
Feck.
Vaughn's a
It was
bitch.
so cute.
Okay, I wasn't the only one who did that. Britt did that to Fex.
I
That
did.
Britt didn't do anything to me. I just wasn't on the platform enough.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the babies!
Britt,
I
did you
just saw that.
intend
I
to
can
kill
help you
me?
get it into the truck. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I
But,
saw
yeah,
you
yeah,
try
she-
and get onto the
no, she's
square, and I
not-
was too far over. And I'm like, oh no, he's gonna fucking die.
I just saw the
You
snappy snap.
You motherfucker.
Oh, you evil.
You
It's
motherfucker.
not
You are evil.
because
Yeah,
I win a
and he
couple
died.
rounds, I become the evil guy.
I died.
Damn, J. Jonah Jameson's starting to look a little
Jerk.
correct. So that's Spider-Man.
I just smiled at my death. What the fuck?
Wait, what?
No, don't encourage that. Come on. I'll stay on
Last
green.
round, I guess
Purple.
Vaughn.
Say green, green.
Purple.
Yeah.
Green is the color of money.
I can't
It's the color
hear
of
my horn.
money.
I don't think my horn is going off.
Vroom vroom.
Vroom vroom. Green go vroom vroom.
Green girl boom.
White again.
Ooh, Fex. No. But no.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I'm not doing anything. I'm just
That's
sitting here.
Fucking great.
Uh-huh.
Red.
Why don't I take a video of this?
Green.
Green.
Fuck.
Again.
Vaughn, you're such an asshole. You are so
Wow. Wow.
You're evil.
Bro, what the fuck?
You know what? Everyone in vote to like try and kill Vaughn.
Please.
That's not what happened.
The real winner is the one that kills Vaughn.
I agree.
with
Wow.
that.
I got this.
That's such a good one.
Why does this say it's 2 trucks remaining? Seriously.
It's definitely not. Oh well, that doesn't matter because I'm in the same direction as you. Go Moon, go Moon, go Moon! Use your boosties.
No.
Moon, you can use boosties.
I don't know how to do that.
We could all be nice. We could all be nice.
Vaughn. Don't you?
Okay. I'll be nice. I'll be nice.
Gorgeous.
I was paying too much attention to my nephew, and
This
my
one's the
cat got
easy
pissed
one.
off and knocked my trash can.
Literally said selfish.
Just jealous, yeah. Keep him out. Get him out. Get him out. Get him out. Get him out. Yes, keep him in the storm. Keep him in the
Hi,
storm.
baby.
Yes, good job, Feck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Alex and Feck
Justice
tie.
is well served.
We are nice. Nice. Okay.
I don't like the position I'm in here.
mood.
Why is that?
Green.
I was about to say, this is the final
Please
round.
let
I'd
it
be a
be.
dick if I really want to be.
By Alex.
Damn it! Oh, I have enough time to boost.
No.
Oh, well.
Oh, I won.
I thought Moon had that.
You were sitting in the storm.
Oh, you started in the storm. Well, I won.
Yep, GG.
I
I'm
don't
just happy we
think
killed
was
you.
winning wrong. I think I won.
Nah, I won.
No effect, we won.
Well, but then you died immediately after, so I think.
But
like,
we got him.
Excuse me.
Oh,
But I
no,
got
I
him.
thought we said that the
What?
person that killed Devon was the winner.
Okay, you know what? We'll go off of that. Nah, that don't count.
I got
Because
two
then
Vaughn
Alex,
kills.
yeah,
So,
Alex
high
and
school
Feck
roleplay?
Nice.
both killed Vaughn at the end.
Yeah, no, but he killed him the
Ah,
other
okay.
round.
Oh crap.
Oop.
What are we doing now?
We can either do this again while we wait for Maggie, or we can move on to the other map and play it until Maggie gets on.
What other map?
The jumper bouncer tag.
Oh, we could.
'Cause we were
we're
gonna
play-
save that for Mags.
Yeah, I thought we
Yeah.
were saving that.
If we're saving that for Mags, let's just run this again.
Let's just run this again, yeah. I don't have the ability to do so though.
Oh no, okay.
How do you do
But
that?
I do.
I was about to. Who's party leader?
That would be me.
Boop. Boom.
Defeat. Oh yeah, I guess I did lose.
Yeah, because I guess I did lose.
I guess I did
You
lose.
are one of
I guess
my
I did
favorite
lose.
nephews.
I'm offended.
Oh,
How
we
does
got
Vaughn
routine.
have 10 hours alive? Oh, 10 minutes. Never mind.
Oh, that's beautiful.
10 minutes?
Because you're talking about my favorite nephew, and I'm just like, well, I'm just over here.
I said he's one of my favorite nephews.
Oh, you said plural. Okay.
Are you guys seeing the final scores screen?
Yeah, and
Does
nothing
it tell
more.
you,
Yes.
does it tell
Okay,
you
there
guys
we
that you got 59,420?
Yep.
Being very
If
That was
only
so
it was
close.
69
It was so
420.
Alright, I gotta play more games.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad we all share a brain cell. Why are we here?
We all share brains. That's dangerous.
We
It's not dangerous. It's
don't
awesome.
share the brain cell, we hand off the brain cell.
Yeah.
Yeah, by sharing
like
it, I
becoming
would
a-
just give it to somebody else. I don't want it.
It's like
so
becoming
guys,
the next
I
Megamind.
Yeah.
bond for a reason, man.
I am going to Mexico for 2 weeks, so I'm gonna need to borrow the brain cell for that time.
Oh shit.
No.
You know what? That's okay. You know what? My job I don't need a
Ooh,
brain
what
for.
part of Mexico?
I have no idea. I'm going to a wedding down there, my cousin's wedding.
For 2 weeks. Wow.
Oh.
Like a week and a half,
In the moment,
So when does it start? Like when do you officially leave?
For you to do that
I leave Wednesday at like 4 in the morning.
Jeez.
Yeah. Why are we not in color switch right now?
Yeah, Vaughn.
I'm going to Mexico in December.
Oh, nice.
People.
I'll have to find out where I.
Oh wait, I have to ready up again, right?
Yeah, you have to come ready up the thingy over here.
Oh, ready it up again. I'm sorry, I was cuddling the baby.
I'm going to Florida next year.
Yes, you are. I live
Yeah,
here.
I'm gonna drag Maggie with me.
No, you just said he's going to Florida.
Oh.
In a broader sense,
Yeah.
we're still here, unfortunately.
I'm like, in that case,
Where do we
Wait,
live?
so what are we playing?
We're gonna do color switch
Hey,
one more
you guys
time,
figure
and
out
then we're
my
gonna move to
address.
Mexico.
I ain't
Oh,
gonna be
okay.
there anymore, so have fun.
All right, Twitch chat. Her current address is
Do you even know my address?
not off the top of my head. That's not
Yeah. You'll ask Uncle Jim.
and or that is a valid answer, actually.
Actually, yeah, I don't have it. Never mind.
He could be like, here you go.
Because I was gonna say I could check one of the boxes you used for shipping, but you sent it from other places to his house, not
Yeah.
from your house to his house.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually sent a package from our
directly
house.
from your house. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, neither do I.
Amazon
just
or
use
the
my
post
parents'
office,
address.
Yeah.
Unless mom's doing something that we're not aware of.
I don't know. We used to do Christmas cards, right? That's some
everybody in?
point.
Oh yeah, everybody
Oh.
had to be.
Maggie would like to join.
I know we took.
Oh shit. Well,
I mean, we'll play this, and once she loads in, then we'll swap out. I mean, actually, she should be able to just join us.
she
Red.
can probably
Yeah,
join
she
the
should be
rest
able
of
to
us,
jump
right? White.
I'm calling blue.
Join. I'm going green.
Yeah, Maggie, join us. We're doing
I'm
color.
going red.
Maybe.
Green.
Roger.
You might be right.
Wow, everyone has their own square, not
Let's
fighting each other for
go.
one.
Good job, guys.
Wow.
How civilized we are.
So rare.
Red.
So rare.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Moon.
Wait.
I love all
You
the
want-
smart ass talk from Megan.
Oh my god.
Smart ass talk.
Thank you for
You
being
know,
nice.
I got a second commentator.
I was
right
only
now.
driving into you because it was holding me up. I mean, I do intend
It
to
was
kill
in
you,
blue.
but
Why
the
didn't
reason
I
I was
just
driving
go
in.
right in front of me? Why did
No.
I have to come over here? Hi.
I'm calling red. I'm calling red for the next one.
Green.
Calling white.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Hi,
White.
Beck.
I
White.
told you. Yeah, come over here. Yeah. With
Fuck over
friends.
Vaughn. Back up. Oh my god.
No!
Oh,
No!
Shit.
Oh.
That is two times
no.
you
What
have
the
We
hell
just,
was
we
that?
just like
Oh, yeah.
guessing what color it is before
Oh, I was a
the
fan.
color shows up, just as a little mini game for us.
Hello. Hello.
Oh my god, there's so many people!
We are nice.
Sandwich.
Many guys.
Yeah, we're all still alive.
Green.
No.
Yellow.
Oh, well, I'm wrong. Hi, Moon.
Oh
White.
shit.
Get out.
Nice. Nice.
We're good. Yep, we're good. Shake hands, we're good.
Yeah. Nice job, Beck. Nice job.
Yellow.
Jeez.
Black.
Red.
Nope, I'm wrong. Cool.
Wrong.
Wait.
Wrong again.
Excuse me?
Oh, close.
Say what?
See, Britt could very easily screw you over right now.
I can.
No,
I'm not
please.
going to. That's not gonna happen. I'm
Yellow.
not a bitch.
It's blue.
Yellow.
Oh god. Hi guys, how are you? Oh my god, Beck.
It's okay.
How's it
We're all
going,
friends here.
We are all nice here, right? We only target the
We only
We only
target
target
Vaughn.
Vaughn.
Nah, bullshit.
None of us are Vaughn, so you know what?
Oh, no,
we're all on good terms.
No, no, shit.
Oh, no.
Alex? I mean, Britt?
No, I'm all the way in the storm.
Yeah, no,
not
that
me.
was me because I turned into it and I took a wide turn. That was me.
Okay, we all line up. We all line up.
Oh god, oh god, oh god.
Use your boosties. Use your boosties.
Hold on, hold on.
Britt, back out, back out, back out.
Britt,
Back
Britt,
out.
Britt,
It's
Britt,
okay, it's
Britt,
okay, I'm
back
okay,
out.
I'm okay, I'm
Oh
okay.
my god.
So was I.
I'm okay.
Purple.
Purple.
Alright, I'm in the storm.
Wow.
I'm not in the storm.
Shit.
You're barely out of it.
I'm okay. I just shift over.
Imagine you're sitting in your truck and it's raining in your passenger seat. That's what's happening to Alex here.
but not in the driver's seat.
Oh.
What happened from what I gathered, correct?
You know, yes, I did kill somebody, but it wasn't on purpose. It wasn't meticulous. I just did it, man. I don't know.
Accidental
For the
murder
commentary
happens all
from
the
the
time.
peanut
Accidental
gallery. Accidental murders. It happens.
Oh, it's blue.
sometimes.
Yeah,
There's a
it's
whole
fine.
there's a
I
whole
guess
separate
typically
category
that would be
for
called
it.
attempted murder.
There is.
It's called
There's
manslaughter.
There's also a murder
It's
for
called
using
what?
another
What is
person.
it called, Vic?
Accidental murder is manslaughter.
It's actually wait, accidental murder is actually a thing.
Yeah.
I
There's
didn't know
also
that.
a name. There's also a name for when you kill a
hi.
person with a person.
Oh.
What?
Kill a person
Yeah.
with a person.
When you when you use someone
Oh,
to
nice.
murder
Hey
another
guys, there's a
person.
word for throwing somebody out a window. I know that because Savannah threatens it all the time.
Which is
Defenestration.
It starts with the letter D, and I can't remember it
Beck.
off the top of my head.
Beck.
It's defenestration.
Defenestration? Yeah.
Yeah.
White again.
White again. Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, hi, Brent.
I didn't realize the color showed up immediately. I thought it was just like staying on my
we're
screen.
Moving, we're
for
moving
some
faster.
reason.
We're moving faster.
I didn't realize.
Okay, Beck, I'm going to start
Oh.
becoming a dick. I'm just warning you now.
Okay.
Going to
It
start.
was either she told me or I told her. Oh, Alex is dead. Hi, Alex. Jesus Christ.
I'm going to
It was
threaten.
either
I never said who
Karma.
I was gonna murder. I
Karma.
never said who I was gonna
It might have
murder.
been the last time she threatened it. I looked it up to see if it
Uh,
was a word.
Maggie said she couldn't join. Maggie said she couldn't join.
Oh no.
Oh, what? Okay, so
We'll
let's back
see.
out.
We'll see if she popped up. No, I see your name. I see your name.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
there she
Okay,
is.
okay, we're good, we're good, we're good.
Maggie's here.
Green. You were just
Yeah,
spectating
no, you
the
just
first
have to
round
wait
because
for
we
the
were in
round.
What?
Yeah.
White.
I'm calling
Bye,
purple.
Vaughn.
Calling white.
Green, let's
Green.
go!
Dang it.
Perfect.
I will be joining you.
Right there. Oh, hi, Effect.
How are you, Maggie?
I thought you were soul. Oh, I was about to no.
Ooh.
Oh, Feck's trying so hard too. Damn.
I wasn't really worried.
White.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, soul.
So, this is nice. Oh, hi,
Maggie Vaughn is the enemy
Hello.
tonight. He's good at
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. Kill
he's
Vaughn
the
and
enemy.
nobody else.
They're all the enemy.
So they're all the
I thought
enemy.
you were Vaughn for a
No.
second. Holy shit.
Alex, you can be friendly. Alex, we can be.
Get him! Get him!
Oh.
Get him!
I tried so
No.
hard. I tried so hard.
I saw. It's fine.
Nope,
White.
wrong.
Bonk. Hi, Beck.
Feck just needs to get on. He's like, fuck.
Yeah, no, I'll back up a bit. There we go.
White.
Blue.
Red.
Green.
Yellow
Yellow.
again.
Blue.
Fuck.
No,
Hey, Maggie.
no.
Oh, Meg, careful, back up. Okay.
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry.
Being asshole. Being
We
asshole.
all have pairs. and we all-
Nice.
I mean, you're pushing him right into another yellow square. He would have lived anyway.
Red. Green.
Whoa.
Hi.
Hi,
Soul.
Maggie.
Hey!
We just passing drugs. You're just. It's fine.
Yeah.
Red.
You guys
I mean,
heard that
purple.
too?
Purple. Wait, what?
Get out of here!
Oh, there he goes. Yes, long
Get
live
out
the
of
king.
here! Get
Wait,
outta
what did you guys hear?
What?
I don't know. Someone said that they heard something.
Yeah,
Probably
Vaughn,
not.
did you hear the baby?
Oh,
No.
No.
Oh, no?
Alex?
Okay.
Alex?
Vaughn was too busy screaming into death to hear anything.
He was very
Yellow.
loud. That's
Red.
actually shocking that you guys didn't hear him.
yeah, no, I didn't hear anything. What do you do?
He was just
Oh, there goes
Yelling.
Maggie.
Maggie, what happened?
Maggie? What?
Maggie, what?
So he's just trying to match our energy.
We're good. We're good. We're good. Okay. Hi guys. How are
Huh?
you? Back.
Just joking, just a prank. Just a prank.
Red,
Just a
red,
prank,
red.
bro.
Just a prank.
Just pranks. Just pranks.
Back, back,
I'm gonna
back.
die.
Just pranks.
Just a prank.
Just a prank.
Just a prank. Red.
Please let it be red.
Fuck.
Blue 3 times in a row. No, no, no. Move back up, just keep backing up.
No,
Keep
no,
backing
no,
up.
no, no.
Oh no! It's so close.
Purple.
You guys
Oh,
should be.
bicep.
You guys should be congratulating me. I'm the man who killed
Oh.
Vaughn.
Oh no! Both guys. Oh no! Moon. Purple.
Drive, Moon, drive.
Oh my god.
Moon
Oh
killed
my
us.
god! Come over here! Come over here! Come over here! Come over here!
There's nothing Moon's
Ooh,
missing.
okay.
Moon
Jesus
just committed a
Christ.
double homicide.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
Again.
Whoa.
Fucking reason.
No.
Jack?
Yeah, that's her.
Gosh.
Oh my god.
Don't. Oh, I can't cry.
Dude, my face is hurting.
Oh, Moon.
Oh, okay.
I was too busy laughing. I couldn't see. My eyes were too closed. It's not fair.
All right, Vaughn. I'm ready to call it a truce if you are.
calling it a truce. Fuck that
I'm
bitch.
not. I'm gonna go murder him.
Fuck that bitch.
Same.
I've murdered Vaughn like every time he's died, so I think I should take it
Blue.
easy on him. Green.
Unless you have a perfect opportunity, I'll agree with you.
Green. It's white. Hi there.
Hello, Maggie.
Take him out, Britt.
Britt, get him.
Oh no.
Oh,
Come
damn
on.
it.
Yellow.
Dang it.
Blue.
Yellow. It's black.
That's incredibly rude.
It's incredibly weird that it wasn't the color I
Hi,
wanted.
Maggie. How's it going? Your pumpkin head is
Every-
very intimidating from your truck.
Soul.
Hi.
Black.
Eat. Oh,
What
Wow,
happened?
suck a dick.
I didn't do anything.
No, you didn't. You moved around her. What the heck happened to you?
I don't know.
Maggie, don't move. Maggie, don't move. Yeah, there you go.
Hi, Alex.
You're a bitch!
Oh,
Oh my
Vaughn.
Oh, you are evil.
You
god!
such
Lord,
an
Lord
ass.
Feck 22, I demand you to please murder him.
I can.
You
So,
can.
somebody else has to take the reins for this.
You can do it. You can
Ooh,
do it.
Maggie, careful. Yep, there you go. There you go. You're good.
Come on, Spider-Gwen.
What do I get if I do it?
A high five when we meet in person.
He might kill himself.
I slammed into him, but it was too early in the round. I couldn't, like, do anything with it. Red.
Why are you? I'm leaving you alone. Why are you coming at me?
Because I hired you. You're my hitman.
Yeah?
Oh,
my
I heard him that
speedometer-
time.
Is that right?
My speedometer is broken, so it still displays 0 even though
It's
I'm
0
speeding up.
permanently.
Yeah.
No,
It
no,
says
it's
0
not 0 permanently. The numbers are appearing on top of the 0, and
Those
it's
are really nice colors. Are we the Sonic team right now? Are we Sonic Heroes right now?
Sonic Heroes.
Rose!
Get him, get him, get him, get him, get him. Come on, Feck.
Yes!
Oh.
Oh.
I wasn't even trying to get him. I just needed to get to white quickly, and he was there.
All right, Britt, it's up to you.
Come on, you got this, Britt.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed.
Blue. It's white.
I.
Wow. Wow, what a bitch.
Oh no.
Just the sad sigh. Just.
Yeah. It's like I literally can't do anything in that scenario.
It was just so sad.
Oh. What happened?
Oh. Uh-oh.
Sneezes? Are those sneezes?
No, it's coughs.
Oh.
You good?
I'm calling purple.
Blue.
I mean, I assume.
Actually,
Gray.
I'm gonna go red.
Green.
Oh,
For
why
my
did I
next-
say gray? What the fuck?
Purple.
Wrong anyways. Damn it.
Oh, purple.
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
should never
continuously
believe
go
your
red for my nephew.
nephew. Maggie?
Meg?
Oh, her controller's disconnected in the middle of the match. She couldn't move. Yeah, disconnect, reconnect. Sorry, Mag.
Hi.
Howdy.
Don't be a
Friendly.
bitch.
Alex,
I
no!
am a friendly
Right.
person, I promise.
Okay,
Alex, you
that time I
boosted.
didn't do anything.
Yeah, I boosted, and I was trying to keep myself in the air with the boost after I realized I was going off. I don't want to watch
So
from
My
Bud's point of
will's
view.
off.
That
Bro.
makes him go faster.
That's it. I need to
would
see
boost him when
movement.
he. Yeah.
Black. Soul, please.
Also, I love this spray
Please.
on your truck. Your truck is awesome.
Soul.
Oh.
Wow,
Vaughn.
Vaughn, you're a bit. Go kill Vaughn. Go kill Vaughn. I don't care who it is. Someone murder a Vaughn.
I said Soul. I literally even
Let's
said
go,
Soul.
let's go,
Nice.
Oh
Nice.
no.
Nice.
That's what you
Nice.
deserve, Mon. That's what you
Thank
deserve.
you.
Oh
And
man.
now
Thank
we
you.
can have a clean and fair 1v1.
Oh,
Killed Moon
bullshit.
for no reason.
Bullshit. What the fuck? It's not clean and fair.
That is clean and fair. You just
Oh,
don't know what clean and
snap.
fair is because you want to keep
Kill.
cheating.
Yeah, you're
Killed
just a
Moon for
bitch.
no reason.
That's the whole point.
Wait,
of
what
the
does
game.
respectful soul?
We know
Not
what
to
the
murder
whole
people,
game
just
is, Vaughn, we
survive.
get it.
The point is not to murder each other. It's supposed to stay alive.
I like murder.
Oh god.
Clips taken out of context.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Yeah, Effect, I think you're out
Take
of
it
it.
out of context. Twitch.
Ooh,
No, he's fine. Oh shit.
Oh.
it was close though.
I'm a color switch
Dang.
god when Vaughn's on here killing people.
Oh hi. How
Now
are you?
that he's not here murdering.
As soon as you say that effect, you're gonna die.
I honestly thought that was gonna happen.
Have you gotten into the storm yet, Feck? I can't remember.
No.
He's full health.
Okay.
Back to where you just were. Imagine it's white 3
It's
times in a
a
row.
terrible parking place, but you know, it's fine. I don't know how to park, but we're good. I also don't know how to drive.
Blue.
Shut
Why do you guys
up.
just immediately back up when we're in the blue? Like you guys can just go out in
because
circles. so you
it's
guys just
easier to
back
see
up.
the rest of the place when you're like
I just go in
backed up like
circles
this.
because then you could just drive into the area you need.
Hi, Feck. Can I do? I can't do that. Hold on.
Honk 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 honk
Once it
honk honk
hits,
honk.
once it hits 5 minutes, I'm gonna become an asshole. That's how
Is it? It's going down. It's like-
Once it hits 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Hey!
I didn't
Well,
let you
she
be an
had other
asshole. I
plans.
wanted to be one first.
You can't be an asshole. I want to be an asshole.
I gave you the respect of announcing it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
did.
that's what
Thank
happens.
you for
Don't
that.
announce being an asshole. Remember that happened to me.
Thank
I
you
mean,
for
mainly
announcing
I'm
your
an asshole.
plan, so I can execute it first. Sneaky
Green.
asshole.
Red. I think it's gonna be red.
By the way.
Like, you good?
Purple.
Red.
Red.
Fuck,
So,
Beck.
Eh?
hi.
You're not the target, Alex. You're fine.
Okay.
You're safe.
Okay. Is Vaughn target? I'll join you.
Always.
Okay. Yep.
Always. Blue.
Miss.
Purple.
Purple.
Yeah, but we're not gonna get into this.
Soul,
early.
please. Soul,
Red?
please. I am being
Red.
nice to you.
Oh my God! Yo, Brit the MVP.
I'm sorry,
Brit
Mom.
sacrificed
No.
herself to take out
Oh,
Vaughn.
Brit, thank you.
I'm done for the night.
Brit the MVP.
Dude, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to
Oh, I'm
do
sorry,
that.
Beck. I'm sorry, Beck. Okay.
Oh,
Oh no. I did not pay attention. I was talking to Megan. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, just full speed.
No, left.
Is on left?
Yeah.
Yeah, he left. Rage.
why?
He didn't like that we kept targeting him.
He was winning all the rounds.
He was, yes. He was winning all the rounds. We were trying to make it more even.
Really?
Oh, well, okay.
They just bonked each other.
All right. Well,
All right, 1v1. Let's do this.
Let me call him.
Let's go try.
try to kill me.
Yeah.
Why?
Yes.
Nope. Okay. Nope. Well,
You're a
you
bitch.
gotta remember that Alex is also an ass.
Yeah, I just wasn't as much of one tonight, but it's the final round, so why not?
Oh, it was the final.
baby is a
Damn.
hat.
I may not won, but I sent a message.
The baby is a hat. Okay. Sure.
You may not have won, but you sent a message.
Yeah, that's all it matters. That's all that matters is sending a message.
New fashion statement.
Everyone's carrying verses around hats.
Yeah, Von left. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we have one more round.
No, we didn't.
Remember, don't return to lobby. Remember, we're gonna do the one map with Manx.
Oh,
I think I
we
hit
have one
return to
more
lobby on
game.
accident.
I thought you meant one more round of this. I'm like, no, we didn't.
I mean, I guess we all have to return to lobby anyways. But yeah, we'll redo the next round.
Why isn't it return to hub automatically?
Because this one was a mode we had to ready up for.
Yeah, you can play it again
I got
if you.
4
if you
levels just doing that map. That's insane.
want. You tell him, Squishy.
very, very talkative today.
Yeah, he's very talkative baby. He will sit there for hours and tell you a story, and he's only 4 months old.
That's adorable.
Oh shit. Yeah, it's not Sunday anymore.
That's what I'm saying.
4 months as of yesterday.
Was that?
Oh wait, Vaughn is here. What?
Fun.
Wait, are you guys back at lobby?
We are
Yes.
back at lobby.
Ah.
Because Maggie joined us, and that was a game mode that we had to ready up for, so it kind of took us out of creative.
I was gonna swap teams, but it won't let me swap teams on PC.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
for some
or is it because
reason-
we're creative?
Yeah, but for some reason,
Okay.
like it's a different button. Oh, you leaving me?
Yeah, for me, I think it's map.
Yellow. When Alex was that small, I was that small. So like,
You were smaller.
I was smaller. You were right. You were a big ass baby.
Not even that. I was born before you.
Yes, but like when you were born,
Yes,
you were
I was a 10-pound baby.
10
No.
pounds. Yeah.
I was also a big baby, but
He
I
was. I don't know. It was
did not
pretty damn
last.
close to double digits if it wasn't.
Big baby.
Alex was a big ass baby, bro.
Yeah, no, I Maggie's gonna murder me if something happens in the future.
Maggie, beware.
Jesus.
There will be a murder. You want candy? Candy? Anyone?
Anyone? Candy?
Candy? Oh, well. It's on the left, Beach Dubs, for anyone that didn't notice.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
The
Oh,
one
wow,
that
it's
says that there's
very
two people.
white. Holy shit.
Is there a problem with that, Alex?
Yeah, is
I-
that okay, man? You got a problem?
It caught me off guard.
Oh wow. Wait, what's this?
Bouncers?
It's laser tag, but with jumps.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, laser tag and you
so-
can jump over walls.
Laser tag is just crossbows.
I was about to say, we don't have, Oh, we do have mounting.
Oh yeah. I changed everything
I like that.
because you bitches. There's still
'Cause
no
us
collision
bitches.
because I want Alex to suffer.
Yeah, and so we could play a 2-minute round of us just jumping around each other. No, jumping through each other.
I'm lagging so bad right now.
You're lagging. Oh, that sucks for you, doesn't it? I forgot that I had low
Starts
gravity
game.
on.
Oh, right, I forgot. You can customize bouncers now.
You can customize bouncer.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
You can make them, like, extra bouncy.
Wait, why can't I customize my own bouncer? Do I not have the start button?
it's-
Hold on, do I have the start
it's-
button? Okay, I do.
I also do.
You have the start game button.
I think anybody that has the ability to edit a map has the start game button.
Are you telling me I don't have the ability to edit my own map?
Not anymore.
Yeah, wait, that doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make sense. I mean, okay, in this current context, yeah, it makes sense. Why it didn't work with your map? No fucking clue.
So wait, why can't I customize this bouncer?
I think it's just because it's probably a new feature, so it's being done.
Alright, fair enough. Fuck Fortnite. Is
I'm just
everybody?
mounting over the same wall.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm in.
there's 6 people. Okay.
Let's do this.
Let's do this. Let's
Thanks.
go.
Good luck, have fun. Maggie, I would not Maggie. Vaughn, I would love to hear your beautiful voice. I would love to hear both of your beautiful voices, but
Maggie is a different situation.
yeah.
Oh fuck, I missed. Oh hi.
Hi.
Yeah.
Bye.
I'm like, are we just gonna continue to do
Wait, I
this?
don't know how to use crossbows.
I was trying to
you just
see you
point and
for
click.
so long, I couldn't. That's so shitty.
Don't aim, it's a waste
You
of time.
good, Vaughn?
Crossbows suck.
Yeah,
Hi, Vaughn,
honestly
how are
though.
you? Vaughn, can you at least like nod your camera if you can hear us? Okay. Okay, don't waste all your bolts.
I can just reload.
He just fucking emoted. He's like, yeah, I don't give a shit about this. Nice. Ooh, hi. Aw, damn. That would have been a sick shot.
It was worth trying though.
No, I mean on his end. You flying towards him and then just getting ended.
Oh, I hate going through people. I
Well?
hate going through people.
It's staying, Alex.
Ugh. It's evil.
It's.
I love that we're earning so much XP tonight, though.
Yeah, they like changed the XP for creative, and I love it.
I love it because now anytime you're playing Fortnite in general, you're leveling up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I was what was it? Yesterday at work. I'm working on the new map and stuff. Oh.
Oh, all right. Why did you spray my wall, bitch?
But yeah,
Feck.
working on the new map, and I've been earning so much XP. I think I got like 2 levels just building. I'm like, yes, please.
Oh, Maggie's alive too. Okay.
Yeah, no, there's 3 people right now.
You climb!
Yeah, we're going on over that. Oh. Ooh.
Well, he's
Wrong
coming.
emote.
Wrong emote.
He's a coming.
Oh lord, he coming. Ooh.
Feck, you keep spraying
Yeah,
those
but-
walls, I'm gonna kill you. If they stay, I'm gonna kill you.
They remove after round.
They better.
Otherwise,
Why?
you gotta go back to
I'm,
the
I'm
wanna
going
roll
to
the
fucking kill you.
Feck, after you spray 3, the 4th one will make the first one disappear, and so on.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So
Okay,
there will
but
only
there's
ever
still
be
gonna
3
be a
from
whole
per-
bunch
per
of
player.
fucking sprays.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure they clear up after round. If it happens while we're getting ready to play the game, then yeah, you have a problem. Oh. I don't like
Hello?
that there's so many people near me.
Hello?
No, Alex.
Sorry, Moon.
Alex, come on.
Oh, did we explain the no crouching rule? We don't crouch
yeah,
unless
we
you're
do not
standing
crouch.
still.
Yeah, if you're standing still, you can crouch. Oh, I know where Feck's been.
Oh, I fucking missed!
What do you mean you know where I've been, Alex? What?
Oh, there's only sprays in an entire corner.
what could you be talking about? Oh, what?
Ooh!
That is not who I was fighting.
I was in a corner! I was in a corner! I'm running away now!
Ah, you were in a coward.
Yep!
You
Yep!
were in a coward or was a
In
coward?
a coward.
I was,
Invul
yep,
coward.
I was in a coward. Aye! What the fuck? I just glitched into the wall and then died.
In a coward is now terms for in a corner.
Oh my fucking god! I shot like 4 times.
Why Agent Peely? There has to be a Spider-Man fucking spray.
I think there's a web
Right?
spray, but there's
There's
not like
a
good
web, but
button.
there's not a Spider-Man.
Oh, that's stupid. Okay, yeah, uh-huh. First thing we hear from him is murder. That's great. That's a good sign.
This is a great sign.
Oh, hello.
Bitch!
Bye. See you the fuck later, I guess. Oh, someone's here. Oh, somebody else is here. Oh lord. Oh boy, what's happening? I don't know. I'm not okay with this. I need to leave.
Or are you?
I need to leave. Stop it.
Excuse me.
Fuck off. Vaughn, fuck off. Bitch. Oh, that's so dumb. What the fuck? Oh man, I've gotten 1 kill this entire game, and it was third partying Feck and Vaughn.
That's better than 0.
True.
Fuck this.
Sorry, Moon.
What? I just do it.
Yeah, I looked at the scoreboard after you said that. I'm like, oh.
Get him, Moon! Get him, Moon!
Oh
Oh
no, he has better aim than me.
Nah, it's nothing about aim. These things
No,
can't aim worth
crossbows are
shit.
very dumb.
These
I think
things
that's why it's
can't
more
aim worth
fun to
shit.
play laser tag with it, though.
Is your crossbow
think
glitching on your screen, Vaughn? Because it's glitching
Yeah,
on mine.
it's like covering his arm.
Oh, it's better. Okay.
Yeah, it's every now and then he does that.
Whew.
You're
That,
just gonna
that
say
little
murder
corner of the
again?
wall.
Oh, fuck.
That
I
was a
don't
close
think
match,
is
though.
there a way of catching up to him? Oh, it's only round 3.
No, yeah, it's only round 3. There's 10 rounds. Even if we
Someone
catch up,
else
though,
has
he
to
doesn't
win,
even eye them
though.
kills. Yeah, that's the hard part.
Have fun.
Fuck. I don't know who I'm going for.
I will.
Ah, nice!
Thank you. He gave me a challenge. I had to accept the challenge.
Fair enough, GG. I'm just gonna stay away from
Oh, you went over the wall?
Leave me alone,
No!
please.
No!
Please.
No! Got him!
How?
I was up in the air because I bounced.
It's still, you shouldn't have had a line of sight on me. That's so dumb.
I remember we're using crossbows, it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah. You could aim directly at somebody and it won't hit them, but if you're 3 feet away without zooming, you're gonna hit them.
No, if you're a mile away. That's
You're hearing so
Vaughn is
much,
now
I'm so
spectating.
scared. Vaughn.
Wait,
Vaughn.
so
Oh, come on. Oh no. Oh, guys, come on.
did Vaughn die?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Vaughn was the first one to die. He's not winning this round, that's all we know.
Yeah, but the question is, who will? Who's still alive?
Me.
Well, Maggie, me, and Alex.
Got it. That was
Oh,
beautiful timing.
that was amazing
Good.
timing.
Good
That
timing.
was so good.
Who's still alive?
Me. Guys.
That was such good fucking timing.
Who's still alive? Me. Dies. Oh.
Yeah, that's definitely
Oh,
being clipped.
never
That's
mind.
going in the video.
Never mind.
Who is? Where is?
I see Maggie.
When does the storm happen? I want things to happen.
Maggie,
Last,
don't worry. I've only
2
killed.
minutes, I
oops,
think?
I've only killed
Or
one
minutes?
Last 2
person.
minutes.
I don't remember.
So like,
I'm just going around.
most likely safe because my odds are shit.
Your odds of what?
My odds of being able to kill her.
Oh.
Oh, shit.
Well, don't have to worry about it. I
Alex,
got her.
Alex has killed everybody this round. Uh-oh.
That's what I meant. I needed to catch up on them kills.
Don't let him get a perfect
I'm
round.
scared.
I'm not trying
Don't
to,
jinx it.
but like, fuck.
If I die after getting all these kills, I'm gonna be so sad.
Take him out, Brett. That's all the motivation you need. Alex will be sad.
That's a good point.
But he's
Come on,
my
Bert, you
nephew.
got this.
I don't wanna be
Does it
that
ever
much of a
change your
jerk.
opinion in the
Okay.
past? Has
He,
it ever
he
changed your
may be
opinion
your
in the past?
nephew, but he's also an asshole.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's part of my quota as a nephew.
is it?
Yeah.
Don't tell Squish.
I
Please.
will raise him to be the best nephew.
I don't trust you. Oh, why am I?
I'll teach him everything I know. I got 22 years of experience.
If I must be a bad nephew then if I'm not an asshole.
Well, I found a feck spot. When is the circle closing, man?
I don't know.
Do you not have it on, maybe?
I have it on.
I've just been constantly running around. I've not found you.
I know. I've heard you.
Storm
When the fuck did
now.
it go?
JK.
Well, it might have broken since
Alright.
creative.
Sense creative. I agree.
Or maybe it is after 5 minutes, and that's what this.
But that's when the mode ends. Oh, I found
I
a
don't
Von spray.
know.
Something
two Von
about these wall pieces just make Vader look really short.
Ooh. Is that somebody blind shooting?
Oh yeah, it's someone blind shooting. There's nothing else I can do. Oh.
I'm over here.
yeah, you are.
Come fight me.
Ooh,
Oh.
damn.
Got her.
Oh, what?
Clean sweep.
Dude, wait, hold on.
Ooh.
Where was I on your screen? Because I was sliding on
In
my
the
screen.
air. You were in the air on my screen.
Actually, I was sliding on
Actually.
mine. What the fuck?
I saw you in the air, Britt.
Really? Oh, fuck
Yeah.
this game,
I saw
bro.
her sliding.
Oh,
Spectating, I saw you in the air.
fuck this game, bro. That's so
Yeah,
stupid.
your game's desynced, I think.
I'm in a
So-
different region than everybody else in this lobby, so you know what?
That makes perfect sense.
Oh, I just saw somebody vault. Hello.
I'm doing a lot of that right now.
Yeah, I noticed. Oh,
Wow.
Jesus fucking
Yeah.
Christ.
That's the same thing that happened to me and Britt on the first round.
Oh, vaulting over each
We
other's
vaulted
wall.
over each other and then I just
Yeah.
waited for him.
I was gonna wait for you, but I I
Oh,
wanted to
well,
play a game with my nephew. And my
I
nephew
saw
killed me.
I saw the corner of Gwen sprays and I assumed Feck was hiding in the corner again.
No, I do that
No.
where I spawn and then I run along my way.
Yeah,
Gives you something to do.
I saw Gwen for a second. I don't
I
know
mean,
if
it's
you're
just the
going over
spray.
to a corner again, but
Yeah, I don't
hide
think
in
I have
corners.
any.
I'm not you, Britt.
I don't think I have any people sprays.
I don't know.
Because
what
that would be
you're
a good
talking
way to
about.
kind of like trick people. It's like, oh, there's a person here. Oh, who is that? Who is that? Who is that? I
Who's
saw
what?
footsies.
I'm seeing a lot of footsies, bro.
I saw one footsies.
Wait, when
I
did
want a
Moon
singular
die? Wait a
footsies.
minute.
It was Sol.
Ah,
Got it.
It's always. Always.
I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this.
I like this a lot.
I don't like this.
Oh, damn. I forget. Aiming doesn't matter.
What?
Being a coward.
No.
My god, aiming with this thing is pointless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never
It
realized how
literally
bad.
is.
I
That's
never
what I
realized
say.
how
Literally
bad.
every time we play one of these games. No, I was over the wall.
Oh.
No, you were on top of the wall, my screen.
So me, Maggie, and Alex again, huh?
Yep. And once again.
Alex
Oh, I
has.
saw gunshots.
Oh, Alex has all but one of the kills this time.
Yeah, all but Moon.
Oh.
What's
Oh shit.
I'm,
What the fuck's
I'm a
happening
man on a
over
mission
there?
right now. Oh! Where are you? I want to play with you!
That doesn't sound right.
Don't take
Somewhere
it that
else. Not over here. Ah, shit!
Holy shit!
I,
Okay.
Holy shit!
Did I spook you?
Yes!
Alex is cheating because he's playing on PC.
So am I. What?
Yeah, no, but
Alex-
she's using a controller. I'm using keyboard
Alex
mouse.
has a mouse.
Wait, but you guys have aim assist.
Aim assist
Yeah, but
sucks.
you
It
can
is
aim
not
with
as
your
good as
whole
anybody says
fucking
it is.
arm, bro.
But at least you have something compared to nothing.
Aim assist
You
is literally
have
like
your
the most
own
bullshit thing in the
control. What
world.
do you mean, absolutely nothing?
Aim assist versus having to aim myself.
assist
Honestly,
is terrible.
using mouse on Overwatch, I love it.
Overwatch really good with PC controls. Paladins, I would argue, is pretty good with PC controls as well. Fortnite, I think I prefer controller. I just, only ever use PC because of streaming.
Because PC aiming is better.
No,
Easier.
because of streaming.
I mean, you can plug in a controller.
I could, but no.
Where is Meg? Oh,
Because I don't have
she's-
motion
she's
controls.
up and down. She's running. It's just She's not.
Yeah, we just have not come
We
across each
just
other
haven't
yet.
seen each other.
And then when we do, we'll be shooting at each other for 2 minutes straight because we can't hit each other.
Well, you can't do that. There's only 30 seconds.
Okay, we'll be we'll be missing each other for 30 seconds. Maggie, where are you? I'm over here.
Oh, she saw those shots. She's coming.
I don't see hers.
She's
Oh,
right
she's
there.
not shooting. Yeah. She's not shooting.
Oh,
Well. Ooh, careful.
Maggie.
Ooh, careful. Careful.
I needed to reload! Woo!
I just got your builds. What the fuck?
I don't know.
Damn.
I went to go do my emote, but I hit the build button instead of the emote button. Good game, Max. Oh, who's over here?
Hmm.
Somebody over
Foxy.
somewhere? Oh my god. Oh my
Hey,
fucking god.
hey,
Finally.
Thank you.
somebody just saved my life.
I was supposed to say Moon popped out for that.
Somebody saved my life.
Wait,
I
what?
think it was Moon. I'm pretty sure that was Alex.
No, I died.
Oh, that's
I know,
Moon
but
killed
I'm pretty.
me.
You were.
Got him.
Were you not
What?
shooting at me?
No, I was aiming at Moon.
Oh. Can you view me?
I don't know, man. I
Oh,
genuinely don't know. I got so
okay.
lucky on that one. That
So
was
this is
too
where you
much.
died.
Okay.
you
I was.
if
was
you
right
landed
over
on
there.
that wall,
Oh.
Vaughn, you would have fucked me up.
Yeah, no, I was not
I-
aiming at you at all.
I heard shooting and because literally like I saw you like
So
right,
it's Moon,
right through the
Feck,
crack
and me.
there and I thought you were shooting at me.
Yes.
Okay.
I just saw Feck.
Oh, Vaughn's going crazy.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. I am elusive. Hi, Feck.
Hi.
Woo. Woo.
What
Alright.
would be the difference
Woo!
between elusive and elusive?
Is there such thing as elusive?
I don't know. That's why I asked.
I have no idea. Elusive is, can be or cannot be, I think.
Okay. So
Elusive is
elusive
like a myth, I think.
is deceptive or an illusion.
Yeah, okay.
But if I look up elusive, elusive definition.
Did someone just try to shoot me?
It's like whelmed and overwhelmed.
Elusive does not exist.
Good to know.
Elusive is the name of a furniture store, though. Elusive Decor Custom Lighting.
Nobody
It's a light.
else has died yet?
No. What?
Well,
Who else is alive?
You and Britt.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Oh.
it's us.
No.
Don't worry, man. I'm desynced. I can't do shit.
Bro, have you seen me?
Yeah, likewise. I have no idea.
Oh,
Oh, hi.
yep.
Oh.
You guys don't see each other at all.
Yep.
Why are we just
no
standing
sightline.
on a wall?
Why aren't you standing on the wall?
There we go. Jesus
Aw.
Christ.
Chelsea, where are you?
And she never moved. She stayed in the
No,
same
I was
spot
in the
entire
same place. Yeah.
Oh, Britt.
Britt's lag is cheating, I think.
Is it
time.
killing
Britt's lag
people?
is cheating. Just the lag, not
Well,
Britt
I mean,
herself.
I'm going to be
Whoever started right by me, let me at least finish straight by me first.
There's two people next to me. I don't know
No
who it is,
promises
but
that
there's
it's
like
me.
2 fucking people. And I need you to stop. Hi, Moon. There we go. I have to get my clothes out of the washer. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. You were letting me kill you. Oh.
Leave me alone.
No,
Please.
no.
Please.
I'm just trying
begging.
to find someone.
I'm literally begging you.
No.
Sir, please.
You're welcome.
Holy shit!
You're welcome.
That time you were actually saved by Moon.
Holy shit. I thought I was dead for sure.
No, I was standing on the wall so I can get a good shot of you, and then Moon sniped me. No, you live. You live.
Wait, let me wipe my hands. Wait.
Wait.
That's
Hello?
sweaty. Sorry.
Oh. Everybody was silent. Listen. What?
Oh.
Just do a drive-by?
What?
Did you just do a drive-by?
No.
I hate the crossbow so much.
What do you mean? It's the best weapon in the game.
It was dead
It
on.
has
and
infinite
I
ammo and
missed.
everything. Feck, it's the best.
Oh wait, I forgot to do the thing.
I'm sorry, Maggie.
Are you though?
I am. I genuinely am. Oh, you're not who I thought you were. Oh, you're over there.
Oh wait, I didn't spray paint my corner.
Boop! What? Oh my god. I've done that every single round so far, and this is the round I screw it up. No.
Are you kidding me?
No. No!
I could. Brett?
Is AFK. I'll be watching someone else so I can get content. Yeah, let's see
Oh
what
my
we can do.
gosh.
AFK
No,
is
don't do
content.
that.
AFK is content. Hey, man, some people get like subs just for literally stepping away to go get a drink of water. Oh my god.
Oh, my soul. Wait, no, like, okay.
That's bad. I think it's just you and Britt. Oh, Britt's alive again. She's quiet though.
Brett, no.
Yes, hi, how are you?
Why is Moon kinda killing it right now?
Yeah,
What do you
actually,
mean, why?
please calm down.
No.
I'm scared. I only did good those 2 rounds. You can't keep up to me.
Brett, where are you? We could be friends.
I don't know, I heard you, but I
Really?
cannot tell you where I am on the map.
Your guys' maps look the same to me.
Kind of towards the middle, I don't know.
I get
Ooh,
lost
yeah, you're
very
close.
easily in Brits. Or at
I
least
don't
with
hear
mine,
your
it's a lot
footsteps
smaller.
yet, but I hear you bouncing.
I wipe my hands. Please don't shoot me. My hands are wet. I mean,
What?
sweaty.
What?
Wait, give me a minute.
Wow. Okay. Too much information.
What?
I meant to say sweaty.
Her hands are wet. They're so.
Yeah, they're so
They're
wet.
drenching.
They're so, excuse me, triggered, moist.
Moist. Yeah, it's about, like, aren't you the one that doesn't like that word?
I'm okay with that word.
I know somebody that genuinely does not like the word moist.
Aw.
What's up?
Oh,
Oh,
that
that's right.
was a good shot. That was a
Hell
good shot.
yeah.
No, it wasn't. It was just a crossbow shot.
Fat fingered.
So true.
I do that all the time, Moon. I fat finger all the time.
I fat fingers. I hit something else. I don't know what I hit.
Oh! Hi! Goodbye! See you later. Uh-oh, there's another person. Shit!
Oh, so that must be you.
Really,
that I'm
Sol?
hearing.
Really, Sol? Really?
Is it me that you're hearing now?
Or it's Feck.
What?
Oh!
hate
I
this
saw
game.
this. I saw the sprays, so I knew it was you.
I knew you. I knew you were coming. I shot the second you appeared.
Why? Why?
did I.
Moon.
I had a shot quicker,
You didn't though.
but I did though.
But you didn't though.
Literally no gunshot happened on my screen.
This game is just dumb.
Maybe it's just because I have PC. I just have more
Is somebody
friends.
watching our stream?
Yeah, I'm pretty much my stream. What's up, everybody? Oh, you mean like right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is someone screen peeking?
Is somebody
Yes.
watching our streams?
I am.
It's a little delayed,
Okay.
but yes.
I'm
yeah,
just-
that's why I'm
Ah!
like it's delayed, so I'm like
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not
sure.
watching
Sure.
it.
Sure, you can
Oh
miss
my God.
Maggie 1,000
Okay,
times, but you
Maggie,
one shot,
we
one
can-
kill me. Okay, sure. Sure, Alex.
What? From where? From across the map. All right, well played.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I just got sniped from 72 meters. I need one more win so I can tie with Vaughn. If he wins this round, I can't win.
He knows exactly where I am.
Yeah, it's like a whole 30 seconds delayed. Oh,
Wait,
you know what? I
what?
think
What's
I
a
actually
full
have a
30
30-second delay. Oh, no, my stream.
Oh shit!
What was that?
I don't know.
Well, nobody can catch up now.
Yeah, no, the game's over because of it.
Oh, shit.
Well played. Well played. You know what? I'll take pride in the fact that I got more kills.
I think my only kill was Maggie.
Alex, you wiped the floor. Like, goddamn. Wait, okay, where's my storm machine?
It was those 2 rounds. Those 2 rounds, I got like almost every kill. The one I did get every kill.
There it is.
I got another level. Heck yeah.
Generate storm on game start. Yes, initial radius. Why was that
Hey,
on
so
no?
where are
Did
you?
somebody fuck that up?
I didn't fuck with it.
Alex went and tampered with
Wait.
everybody's maps. so
I
they
did
won.
not. Yeah, all our maps are belong to us.
He hacked all our Fortnite
I'm in.
accounts to give
How are you?
himself our maps.
What's up?
I actually just went to each of your
Oh,
houses
God.
and played the game on your thing.
Hey,
'cause I
we
don't
had
know
the
how to
same
play.
we had the same harvesting tool. Nice.
Eee. Are we
Oh,
best friends
I-
now?
Oh my god. Gee,
Are we
oh,
best
oh
friends
my
now?
fucking god.
Twinsies.
Twinsies.
Hey.
Alright.
So,
that
where are
this was
you?
LG, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Wait a minute.
I gotta pack up more.
Lame.
Shut up, I'm moving tomorrow.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I would help. I'm just, across the country.
You just, can't, yeah.
Alright. GG's, all that shit. And I will maybe see you guys tomorrow for regular Fortnite, at least for whoever is on.
Yeah, I'll be on.
Well, yeah, it won't be me, but
Yeah.
Ow.
You have fun packing then. Feck, are you planning on being on tomorrow?
I don't know.
I don't
Okay,
even know
so
if I'm gonna have Wi-Fi.
then it's at least for sure gonna be me, Vaughn, Moon, and Mags. Mags said goodnight, everyone.
Good
night,
if we
Maggie.
don't hear from you,
Oh, good night.
I'm not gonna hear from you before your trip, so have a good
Yeah.
trip, be safe.
I mean, I will talk to you on Snapchat like every day. so-
Yes, but I'm not going to hear your voice, and we're not going to be, like, actually chatting like this.
Yeah, in
so.
case you don't
Yeah.
play again, yeah, have a very safe trip and enjoy your 2 weeks.
I'll try.
Tits
I will
parts
not
of
be
Isn't it
pics.
a week? It's just a week. He comes back
Week
on the
and a half.
2nd.
So,
Week and a half.
yeah, it's like so. Like, I leave.
You leave on
the
Tuesday and come back
26th.
next Wednesday.
Yeah,
Oh,
and then
then
I
you
go
lied
to
to us.
drill that weekend, so I'll be gone for like a week and a half until.
Is Shy coming with you? Are you both going?
No, Shy unfortunately cannot be coming with me.
Oh,
That sucks.
Yes.
And it's for
It is very
your...
Just because of
cousin's
work, I
wedding?
assume.
Yeah, my cousin's wedding. Yeah, work and Shy had already asked for the previous weekend off, and it's up.
Oh, yeah, you're
yeah.
right,
So having
you're
it 2
right.
times in a row, yeah.
Yeah.
How was the party,
So,
by
yeah.
the way?
Yeah. Shy had a good time. Shy had a great time.
I saw on Snapchat they had a
Shy's-
very good time.
Shy stayed the night. Shy had a great time. Yeah. Yep.
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 There's only one skin in this
Absolutely.
bundle I actually like. And it's anime.
Is it the Anime
Shy.
Legends?
Yeah, I was looking at the Anime Legends pack and I'm like, oh, okay, the minus one's kind of cool. The penny one's kind of cool. I really like the rocks one, but I can't tell. Like, this is an original. This isn't a reskin, right?
Huh?
Is rocks a reskin or is it an original?
Reskin
It is of which one?
from Rocks, like the original Rocks.
Do I have rocks? Do I have rocks?
Yeah.
Do I?
I thought you meant The Rock.
Oh, her! Yeah, I so much prefer the anime version over the OG one, honestly.
Dude,
somebody
I thought you
click
meant
the
The
OG one
Rock.
so I can look at it?
No, not Dwayne. What's up?
I don't know what the OG rocks looks like.
I can equip it real quick.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be in originals, but I just don't know her.
Yeah, it's this
That
skin.
is a completely different skin.
Hey, let me do default style so you can see what it really looks like. There you go.
Wow. Yeah, I think I prefer the anime version of that.
Yeah, the anime version's so much better.
I think normal Midas looks better than anime Midas.
Yeah, agreed. Same with Penny.
Yeah, Anime Midas just looks like a fuckboy who got into a fight at school.
Well.
Hey, you heard it here first, folks. I guess.
I mean,
I do like his
look at him.
cyberpunk-esque jacket, though.
Yeah,
Look at
that's
this
true.
dude. Oh, nope.
We need to have a
Look at this
cyberpunk
guy.
crossover. With that anime now being out.
Yes, absolutely. I don't know if Fortnite would do that though, because that anime is pretty brutal. They did.
I
look
mean,
at
okay.
it.
I
don't know.
Yeah,
that.
that's it. They will do it. Like they would do it. I just don't know if they'll get the right. Like if they'll talk to the right people to do it.
Yeah.
Because if you remember, 77 kind of flopped.
Yeah. I don't know. It's coming back now, so it might.
It is bouncing back.
Yeah. With the announcement of the sequel and the anime, I think it might.
Also, mark my words. Once I complete Nier Automata, the next PS4 game I will be playing is Cyberpunk 2077.
What the fuck?
Nice.
Cyberpunk 2077.
No,
Or are you
not
talking about the bang?
The thump, yeah.
I think somebody set down their controller.
Yeah.
Sat down or threw it down? Because it sounded like a whapa.
It sounded like they set it down.
Oh,
No,
let's say.
was that
Speaking of
from me?
throwdown, probably.
Sorry.
Speaking of throwdown controllers, Britt, you definitely want to check out the video I'm putting up tomorrow.
I look at all your videos.
The one that's coming out tomorrow, you will definitely get a good hee-hee in.
Good.
hee.
Alright, GG's.
So I'll
Are
be
you
down
posting
in,
it on
12
YouTube?
hours from now.
Yep. Exclamation mark YouTube.
Oh, bet.
But alright, GG's, all that shit, and catch you guys tomorrow for those who are playing regular Fortnite. And has a good.
Possibly.
Peace out.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
See ya.
Have
Tim.
a good one. See you guys when I got Wi-Fi again. Bye.
Like,
Hey.
Oh man. Yeah, I genuinely don't know when the next time I'm gonna have Wi-Fi is. So that's why I wanted to be here tonight. I have a lot more packing to do. Like, I have a bin right next to me. I have a lot more packing to do. But I wanted to be here with you guys at least one last time before I move. Because I don't know when I'm getting Wi-Fi again. So, fuck. But I'll see you guys whenever that is. Hopefully it's later in the week. The latest I'm expecting it to be, because we use Wi-Fi for everything in this house. We don't have cable. The latest I'm expecting it will be Wednesday morning. But my mom's gonna try and get it for as soon as possible. So, I'll see you guys whenever that is. Peace out. Have a good one. Enjoy yourselves, and I'll see you next time.